Coming up, how's your groin? Not that great. How's yours? Milbury and Campbell add a little contemporary juice to the rivalry. And the Rangers go to break the record set by the Cat, and he'll reminisce about the winter of '71. This is the MCS Cannon Rangers Game Night. Good evening, everybody. I'm Al Trautwig. Welcome to our coverage of Rangers hockey. Great stuff later with Emil the Cat Francis. His team went 24 games without losing on home ice, but they did it from game 1 to start the season. And pretty good stuff between Mike Milbury and Colin Campbell. That's in segment 2. We start off with the headline in Rangers land, and it features Mike Richter, who's probably tired of hearing questions about the state of his groin, but he'll have to endure a little bit more of that for the next 2 weeks. As a result of this, going to the splits to try and stop Peter Nedved, of all people, in the overtime loss this weekend to Pittsburgh. And so back into the claustrophobic confines of the hyperbaric oxygen chamber he goes. As for Mike Richter, he says it isn't going to be too... You know what? I'll just let him tell you about it.
What's probably most difficult about this injury is the movement that hurts it the most is actually playing goal. I can skate, I can run, I can ride the bike, I can lift weights, I can stretch. But when you're actually in there reacting and putting yourself into positions that you put yourself in, commonly playing goal, that's where most stress is probably going to occur in that area. I felt really sharp on Sunday, and that was after being off 6 weeks. I'm not going to be off that much. I'll be skating soon, and I'll still have enough time to get back and get sharp. I've played the game for, over 20 years, and being out another 2 weeks is not going to kill me.
The Rangers have experienced life for the past 2 games without Pat Verbeek and Ray Ferraro. Tonight they'll get reacquainted with their 2 scoring forwards. For Ferraro, it was a groin strain. What is this, an epidemic or something? And for Pat Verbeek, it was a sprained knee. They've gotten their act together on the ice this yesterday at the Rangers practice facility in Rye and are back into it tonight to face the Islanders. Sam Rosen was there to talk to Pat Verbeek and Ray Ferraro about coming back.
I was very happy with it, and it's just something that felt good. It's just a matter of getting my hands back because they weren't there.
Yeah, it felt real good, and of course there's certainly a difference when you start to play, and we'll have to find out how that goes along, but I feel it's strong enough, and if I didn't, I would certainly sit out another couple of days.
The Islanders are injured, and they're ticked off. They've lost all 4 games to the Rangers so far this season, and they've got a little extra inspiration tonight at Madison Square Garden because their beloved Rangers are going to set a franchise record. In 1970-71 and in 1995-96, the Rangers set franchise records by going 24 games without losing on home ice. That goes back to when the leaves were on the trees. I love saying that, and I also love hearing from a current Ranger, former Islander, and a current Islander about the streak and how it figures into tonight.
I think at this point, this is the biggest game of the year for us tonight. We've had a disappointing season, not only against the Rangers, but all around, and I think right now, this can be the biggest game of the year for us. These are games that turn teams around. We've had 4 days off to think about this game, and I think you're going to see a team, a very hungry team. Even with the injuries we've had coming into tonight's game, we're going to be ready to play.
Anytime the 2 teams get together, there's not much love lost. We definitely hate each other, and when we play on the ice, we show it in a lot of different ways. But it's an emotional series when we play those guys, and so I'm sure it'll be nothing less of that tomorrow night.
When we come back on the MCS Cannon Rangers Game Night, it's Mike Milbury in one corner, Colin Campbell in the other. Another chapter as the rivalry continues.
You're watching MCS Cannon Rangers Game Night on MSG Network. Welcome back to MCS Cannon Rangers Game Night.
Last time at the Garden, it was rough. Todd Bertuzzi, say hello to Ulf Samuelsson. Travis Green, say hello to the post. And the Islanders and Rangers came together in the final minute of the game. You probably remember Ulf Samuelsson was as hot as Ulf can get. It was a 4-on-4 situation. Colin Campbell had last change, recognized a couple of Islander tough guys on the ice, and so he responded by sending in Joey Kocur. He told Joey not to fight, but Joey's Joey. Colin Campbell on Mike Milbury. He can spit toward Ulf Samuelsson and put 2 tough guys on the ice in a 4-on-4 in the last minute, but the bottom line is nobody talked about them losing those games the last time we played. I think he did a pretty good job of masking the fact that we won. And the Rangers have won all 4 games so far this season. Boys will be boys, Mike Milbury and Colin Campbell. Colin says it goes back to when Milbury was in the ESPN studios and said some unkind things about the Ranger coach who was going through a very difficult season of defending the Cup. One of our very hard-working associate producers, Tom Meberg, spoke to the coach today.
Well, I wish they'd ask me for my quotes before they write the article. It seems like an unfair situation, don't you think?
Sure. Well,
I have my chance. I don't know. I haven't read what he said, but good. Let's get it on. You know, we'll show up. We'll play hard. We'll do our best. We know we're underdogs. They are the prohibitive favorites, but we'll show up and do our best.
Is there a little bit more than the normal coach against?
There's always, in a rivalry of this nature, there should be more. There should be a little added incentive. It's a little spice in everybody's lives. So there's nothing wrong with that. I don't mind it at all.
But personally, I mean, as you and Collier, apart from the teams.
Well, I think it's a little ridiculous that he would be sniping from his high perch right now against our poor gang of kids. But we're going to show up and do our best, and hope that we have a chance to win this thing when it's all down to the last couple minutes.
Now, there were some things that allegations made last game.
I can tell it's the Ranger Network.
I'm going to get around to it. I'm speaking about what's in the paper.
This is all masking Ulf's butt end, I think, and he was coming by the bench and antagonizing me in particular, and I made a dismissive gesture, but certainly didn't spit at the guy. And sometimes I wish I had, but I thought it was silly that they brought it up in the course of the game, and I thought it was a way to mask, the kind of behavior that Ulf likes to exhibit, which is butt end guys.
The feeling towards Ulf, does that go back to Boston days with the rivalry?
Sure, everybody hates Ulf. That's common knowledge. When he's on the ice, he's a jerk. He's a good player, but he's still a jerk.
So, Coach, the salvos go back and forth. Do us and the rivalry a favor and fire one more. Come on.
Well, we got to win the game.
Okay.
No, like, as far as Mike's comments about Alfie is, we didn't like him last year either. And the old stock line about that, find out the guy you hate the worst in the league, then please go and get me, Neil. Go and get him for me, Neil. And that's what we exactly did. And I think that as far as any rivalry, we both inherited it here. And we want to beat the Islanders. For years, I came here, when I first came here, it was that stupid 1940 chant. So it's nice to hear that fish stick stuff now. So.
But you hate the Islanders, right?
Well, sure we do.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that up.
But Mike Milbury came in with a lot of gusto, and
how is life on this lofty perch, by the way?
Lofty perch? Well, when you look over, it's a long fall. And we have the playoffs coming up, and that's how we're treating this game, like a playoff game. And hopefully we'll continue where we are in this lofty perch, and then we'll play a team that's 8th, 7th, whatever, and we'll be the favorites, and they'll come in, they'll want to steal one. That's exactly what the Islanders want to do tonight, and we want to be ready, and we want to beat them in every department. And we don't care if we're putting a knife in, as he said last time, and turning it. It's our job to win and win every shift hard. And we want every player to play their best game tonight. And I'm sure he wants to come in and spoil our parade.
Oh, I love this because neither coach is giving you the old, this is just another game line. The fans think it's cool, we think it's neat, and if we help stir the pot a little bit, so be it. When we come back on the MCS Cannon Rangers game night, we'll reminisce about what happened 25 years ago with Emil the Cat Francis.
Welcome back to MCS Cannon Rangers game night.
Emil Francis, one of the most respected names in the history of hockey. He was the head coach of the New York Rangers for a long time, but we focus on the year 1970-71. Welcome back to our pregame coverage of the Rangers. You know we love to reminisce here. Well, how about this? The fully bound edition of all the hockey news from 1970 to 71. This is some great reading. And live on the phone right now, we're postponing a dinner date he has later. Emil Francis. Emil, we want to reminisce with you about those years and the interesting similarities to this Rangers team. Both teams going 24 games at home, undefeated, and also you had labor problems. Before that season started, 4 of your top players were holdouts.
Well, that was in the year of Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale, where the two, of course, got together and negotiated or tried to negotiate contracts with the L.A. Dodgers. The same thing happened to us. The problems all started when the Boston Bruins announced that they had signed Bobby Orr to a new contract for $100,000. He'd won the Rookie of the Year award. He'd made the first All-Star team. And then 4 of our top players, Walter Tkachuk and Vic Hadfield and Jean Rattel and Brad Park, were represented by Pro Sports in New York City.
Right.
And we negotiated all summer long, and then we got in the training camp, and they refused to play our first exhibition game, so I had to suspend them. And then we started the season without them, and the day before we left to open the season in St. Louis, the agents of the 4 players sent me a wreath, and guess what they said on the wreath? Die, you so-and-so.
Well, you beat him in arbitration, and I guess, Rod, your highest player at $45,000 in comparison to the $100,000 that Bobby and Bobby Hull were getting?
Yeah, he was. In fact, we were to go to arbitration that morning at 10 o'clock, and we didn't get to arbitration at 10 o'clock at night, and there was a familiar name ahead of us with 18 players in arbitration. He just passed away a few days ago, Charlie Old Finley, and he had taken all his players to arbitration the same day in Montreal.
Now, Emil, your 24-game unbeaten streak came at the start of the season, so it's even a little bit more remarkable. But one of the things that is similar to this situation is that, like the Rangers have been dealing with the Gretzky rumor, you had to deal with the Bobby Hull rumor just about all season from what I'm reading in the hockey news.
Yeah, that's true. We'd have liked to have got Bobby Hull to New York, and of course, eventually Bobby Hull went to the WHA.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you can't be accused of tampering any longer. He's out of the game, and you're retired. Did you come close to getting him or not? Was he almost a Ranger?
I don't think we really got that close because Chicago, if they weren't going to get him themselves, I don't think they wanted anybody else in the league to get him. The other team that was going head-to-head trying to get him was Jack Kent Cooke with L.A. Kings. And I think that at that point in time, if he wasn't going to stay in Chicago, he'd have been a natural to come to New York.
It was the year that Eddie Jockman first put on a mask and had a tough time getting used to it. But you also had a rookie goaltender by the name of Gilles Villemure. Both of them made the All-Star team as number 1 and number 2. Villemure got a lot of the headlines. Talk to me about the chemistry of those two as you battled for minutes for the two.
That's right. You know, they both ended up winning in Vezina, and in fact, they did it with 15 shutouts. And what was really unique about the two of them, and I'm sure it mixed up some of the teams that we played against because Eddie Jockman was a right-hand goalkeeper. In other words, he caught it with his left hand, and Villemure was a left-hand goalkeeper, and he caught it with his right hand. Their styles are completely different. Jockman was an acrobatic goalkeeper, in and out of the net, behind the net. And Villemure was strictly a stand-up goalkeeper and played his angles, and you could come into him all day, and he'd just stand there. If you shot, if you hit him, fine. If you missed the net, too bad. But they were both unique in their styles and both really good goaltenders.
Emil, of course, the season ended disappointingly in a 7th-game loss to the Chicago Blackhawks, but Game 6 will forever be remembered. The triple overtime goal by Pete Stemkowski, who you acquired in the season in a trade. Glenn Sather also as a player you brought in. This was dramatic stuff. There's a picture of this actually still in the Rangers dressing room.
We were down 3-2 in the series, and it was a game that we had to win or it was lights out. And we went into 3 overtime periods, and finally we had oxygen on the bench, and the concession stands ran out. In fact, 2 people died that night, unfortunately, at Madison Square Garden. And the game ended at exactly 1 o'clock in the morning, and I remember always the last words I said before we were going out to start the 3rd overtime period. Would somebody put that puck in the net so we can get out of here? And Stemkowski piped up. He says, yeah, he said, it'll be too late to even get a beer. And guess who got the winning goal, of course? Peter.
Hey, Emil, thanks a lot. Have a great dinner. It's great reminiscing with you, as always.
See you soon.
All right, Emil the Cat Francis. The MCS Cannon New York Rangers game night gives you an NHL update in a moment.
Hi, everybody. Bob Page back in our Sports Desk studios here at the Garden. Under increasing media and fan pressure to make a trade for some much-needed offense, the Devils instead have dipped into their minor league system. Peter Sikora now out, and so Steve Sullivan has been called up from Albany, where he scored 30 goals and assisted on 40 others in 51 games this year, and he should be in the lineup when the Devils host Montreal tomorrow night. After losing at home to Florida last night, look at this. The defending Stanley Cup champions in danger of not even making the playoffs this year, barely hanging on to the final spot spot, just 2 points ahead of Hartford and Boston, and even 2 points back of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the Lightning have been much improved, and as Jason Weimer shows here, aren't going to be intimidated even playing in hallowed hockey locales like Toronto. Last night at Maple Leaf Gardens, Brian Bellows scored in overtime to lift the Lightning to a 3-2 victory. It was their 4th straight win overall. And how about the Whalers, who have now won 7 of their last 8 games? Last night, this goal by Andrei Nikolishin snapped a 3-3 tie as the Whalers scored 4 unanswered goals in the final 9 minutes to defeat the Canadiens 5-3, and crowds are even picking up at the Civic Center, 14,000 on hand for a weeknight game. Former Islanders great Dennis Potvin, now a Florida broadcaster, watching with interest what's been happening with his former team. I asked him yesterday at the Meadowlands Arena if it bothered him and his ex-teammates that a Boston Bruin, Mike Milbury, was now running the Islanders franchise with the old Islander guard, most of it not even involved with the team.
In a sense, yeah, you would think that maybe more former Islanders would be involved, but I'm pretty convinced that the whole motto of the new operating group is that they want to distance themselves from the 4 cups, and maybe
why would you want to do that?
Maybe thinking it's too much pressure on the player today or something. So there was more of a concerted effort to keep the Islanders out, the former Islanders, than there was to try and bring them back in, or instead of somebody new. So there was no doubt. Boom, Lauren Henning went, and right at that point there was a real effort, I think, to look outside the organization, and maybe the thought is to bring a new feel. I don't agree with it. The Islanders have been floundering. I mean, it's ridiculously, and they needed someone to say, all right, I'll take all the guilt, all the criticism, but I also want some of the credit. And I think Milbury's doing that. So slowly we're seeing that team start turning around. And maybe if they change their uniforms, they'll get respectability. But, you look at the...
you don't like the new uniforms, huh?
I tell you, it's unbelievable.
More with Dennis Potvin later on in our half-hour show coming up at 10:30 tonight, right after the Rangers-Islanders game. And now we invite you to stay tuned. It should be quite a show from the Garden this evening, live here on Madison Square Garden Network as the Rangers host the Isles.
In the beginning, it was all Rangers, but that all changed in 1975 when J.P. Parisi scored the goal. In the late 70s, Ranger fans in the upper deck were given ammunition for life. When Dennis Potvin checked Ulf Nielsen, they still chant his name, believing the hit was dirty. In 1979, a journey to the Cup Finals was made sweeter because it traveled through Uniondale. And then the Islanders went on their Stanley Cup roll. The chants of 1940 went up with the sticks and fists. Fast forward to the present, and the anger lives on in Todd Bertuzzi and Ulf Samuelsson. Travis Green knows the spirit of the fight and how sometimes it can lead to pain. And then there's the joy for those like Ray Ferraro, who've lived on both sides of the fence and get revenge. And if all that isn't enough, the New York Rangers tonight can write their own page in the history book. For like the Rangers of a quarter century ago, they've gone 24 games without losing on home ice. And they'll try to set the record with Mike Richter back in rehab and Glenn Healy still in goal. Of all things, he's an ex-Islander. Forget 54 years of waiting. Tonight, the Rangers go for something no team in 70 years has done. MSG, the network of the Rangers, welcomes you live to Madison Square Garden. It's game number 5 this season, Isles and Rangers. This is some kind of rivalry. Even the announcers get involved. We'll take you up to the booth now where Sam Rosen and John Davidson are standing by. Sam, I thought the fist fight with Howie Rose was a bit much, but...
Well, he just pulled off his sport coat and he had that Islander logo, and I couldn't take it out. We've got a good one here tonight. It's always fun, and everyone's talking about the streak, John. As far as the Rangers are concerned, a significant accomplishment, but besides this streak is something bigger, because this is an important game in the standings for the Rangers.
Well, it certainly is. The streak is something I think these players will be able to look back in the future if they do set it. They're the only team to be able to do it. Sure. I mean, it is something very special, but even more than that, last night the Florida Panthers played so well in knocking off the Devils. They're climbing up, they're sneaking in behind the Rangers, and of course the Rangers are in Miami on Saturday night for a very important game. As you see, only 2 points the difference Florida's won one more game than the Rangers. However, here the Rangers know that they have the Islanders, and no matter who it is lately, the teams always seem to elevate their game when they play the Rangers. The Rangers seem to be a team that's a good team that pulls the best out of everybody.
Good news for the Rangers, the return of Pat Verbeek and Ray Ferraro.
I think it balances their team out quite a bit. Ferraro says he's about 80, 90, 95% with the groin injury, and Patty Verbeek, he just smiled. He had a big smile on his face this morning. He was so happy that a few days off really gives him a chance to get back and feeling real strong. The key with these two players back is they fill out their second line. It gives them another power play unit, and it really provides a lot of experience and balance on this hockey club. When both players are playing well, as you see here, they can work the power play. Also, they add a lot of tenacity for this team. In particular, Verbeek, the way he plays, he's a grinding battler for loose pucks, and Ray Ferraro, when he plays with emotion, certainly contributes. The Rangers' balance, again, is much better when these two fellas are in the lineup.
And Ferraro's done some good scoring against the Islanders thus far this season. The bad news for the Islanders is that their two top guns are out.
Two top scorers, both forwards, are done for this game, certainly, with Palffy and Travis Green out. Now, here you see Palffy. Ooh, man, he took a pretty good elbow from Jay Moore of the San Jose Sharks. He's got the concussion here. Samuelson got the puck before he got Travis, but Travis Green went into the goalpost and injured his knee. The next highest scorer on this team, point-wise, is Matthew Schneider, and he's a defenseman. Wendell Clark is back in the lineup. He has 21 goals. He leads the team of the players in the lineup, but both of these players, when they're not in the lineup, it really hurts the Islanders, and I think they're going to have to concentrate on defense as opposed to offense.
All right, so the Islanders right now are undermanned. They're at the bottom of the Eastern Conference standings. We asked Rangers assistant coach Mike Murphy this morning how he expects the Islanders to play the game.
Well, I think right now they're well rested. They haven't played since, I believe, it's Saturday against San Jose. They won that game. They're feeling good about themselves because of the win. And I think that they have nothing to lose. They come into the game saying, hey, let's keep it close in the first, keep these guys off the scoreboard, keep them down, and then we'll eventually chip away and maybe win this game. So, you know, we have to be aware not to be lulled to sleep. And we have to, as I said earlier, play Ranger hockey, get in their face, be aggressive, and try to play a lot of the game in their end. And if we can do that, I think the good things will happen for us.
Fifth meeting of the season between these two teams. The Rangers have won the first four and will be set to go with the Rangers and the Islanders here at Madison Square Garden. The question is, will Mike Milbury and Ulf Samuelsson get along?
New York Rangers hockey is brought to you by Bud Ice, the official beer sponsor of the NHL. By Delta Airlines, official airline of Madison Square Garden. By Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Centers. And by American Express.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. The Rangers and the Islanders getting set to go, and Tommy Soderstrom gets the start once again. He started 2 weeks ago here at the Garden. The Rangers won that game 6-2. Across the way, Glenn Healy will once again carry the load. The word on Mike Richter wasn't too bad.
Well, he was on the Stairmaster today and really worked on the Stairmaster. And if you know what Stairmasters are about, those aren't a lot of fun. And then he rode the stationary bike for 40 minutes. And welcome back to Jamie Ryan.
Yeah, very happy to be back.
Certainly back to back up a veteran group of officials for this game. Andy Van Hellemond, Ray Scapanello, and Leon Stickel, the two linesmen, worked the game in New Jersey last night. And Andy Van Hellemond, as we mentioned, the referee for this one.
Rangers open up with Sergei Nemchinov, centering for Nicholas Sundstrom on the left. Wayne Presley on the right. Ulf Samuelsson had his pass blocked by Bob Sweeney. Samuelsson and Lidster on defense. Derek King, number 27. Bob Sweeney, number 20, with a hit there. And Patrick Flatley, number 26, the forward line for the Islanders. Rich Pilon, number 47. Darius Kasparaitis, number 11 for the Islanders.
Interesting first shift, and Kasparaitis does not change on the fly to be ready for the Messier line. It looks like early, Kasparaitis and Mike Milbury not interested in trying to make changes on the fly to get the matchup against Mark Messier.
For Colin Campbell, it's the restoration of the top two lines. Messier, Graves, and Verbeek are back together, with Pat Verbeek having missed the last two games. And the number two line features Ray Ferraro back at center with Luc Robitaille and Alexei Kovalov. Rangers send out the Messier line with Pukaboom and Leach on defense, and they go opposite Martin Straka. Marty McInnes taking the face-off here, and Wendell Clark, number 17, on defense, McCabe and Schneider.
Interesting. This is a complete change for the Islanders. Every game this season when Kasparaitis has been in the lineup, he's been against Messier's unit quite a bit, but not here. It's McCabe and Schneider.
Islanders' last game was last Saturday afternoon when they beat the San Jose Sharks 4-2. Sharks got only 14 shots on goal in that game. Eric Fichaud got the win. Soderstrom's last game was at home on the 15th, a 6-3 loss to Calgary. Graves tried to pass to Verbeek. It went through, and Wendell Clark clears it out. Straka quickly to Marty McInnes, in on Leach. Leach with a good hit. Pukaboom rides Straka to the boards. Puck kept in by Matthew Schneider. Wendell Clark behind the net. Try to stuff it around the net. It was blocked. Here comes Messier picking up speed. Messier crisscrossed with Graves. Moves against Schneider. Schneider tugged at him. Puck moved aside for Beek. Plays it across. It was blocked by Straka.
Sam, the Rangers have scored the first goal of the game in all 4 games in this series. 3 of them within the 5-minute mark of the first period. At 1:23, 1:48, 4:09, and the other one at 10:33 of the first period. The Islanders would love to change that.
Ferraro, Kovalov, and Robitaille on with Matthias Nordstrom and Bruce Driver for the Rangers. Nordstrom bumps with Todd Bertuzzi. Back for the puck is Bruce Driver. Moving away from Nick Anderson. There's Driver going deep against Scott LaChance. Soderstrom got a stick on it. There's a pull down in the corner. Looked like Robitaille was grabbed by Chris Luongo. Luongo number 6 on with Scott LaChance number 7. Driver shoots, saves, Soderstrom, rebound, missed, as it was knocked aside by Alexander Semak. Semak number 28 with Anderson number 32 and Bertuzzi number 44. Robitaille leads Ferraro. He moves in against Pilon. The shot goes high, deflected by Pilon. 2.5 minutes gone by, no score. Robitaille to Lidster for a shot knocked away by Soderstrom. Flatley moves it to Anderson. He's hit by a flying LaPerriere. Robitaille has the puck. Try to get it to Kosar. Kosar and LaPerriere on.
That's what the Rangers want. They want the forecheck game. They really want to work the Islanders deep in their own zone.
LaPerriere tried to set up Robitaille, who knocked it away from Bertuzzi, and it's played by Bob Sweeney.
Yeah, it's good to be able to forecheck and grind deep, but what you don't want to do is get trapped deep and give up odd man rushes. Kypreos on his first shift took a run at Bertuzzi, a penalty coming up, and Bertuzzi appears to be hurting, getting up slowly.
Kypreos had just come off the bench. He tripped up Bertuzzi, and the Islanders get a power play a little over 3 minutes into the game. Nick Kypreos sits for tripping at 3:01. Todd Bertuzzi a little shaken on that play.
Certainly appeared to be. Kypreos came off the bench, wanted to take the body, and a good move by Bertuzzi, and you see knee on knee. Bertuzzi made his way to the bench. He appeared to be okay. We'll see if he makes his next shift. The Islanders against the Rangers, 3 for 25 on the season series.
But the power play for the Islanders may be the best part of their game this season.
Yeah, they're ranked number 9. They were 19th last season, but again, losing Palffy and losing Travis Green, it really hurts them, Sam, in the depth of their power play. They may have 1 unit now, but it's hard to put together 2.
Puck carried by Matthew Schneider, played across, offside.
It's like the Rangers. You take Verbeek and Ferraro out of their lineup, and on a talented team, it affects their power play. Now, the Islanders, a less talented team, as you look at Bertuzzi, who appears to be okay, it hurts them with the depth of their power play. There you see Kypreos just wanted to take the body, and he put his leg out, caught the leg that was extended from Bertuzzi. So the Rangers have registered the only shot on goal so far.
Had some pain earlier. Yeah, this is earlier on the bench.
You really worry about that tightening up as the game moves along.
Over the last 17 games, the Islanders' power play has clicked at better than 25%, 20 for 78. Shot by Schneider went through a screen but wide of the net. Scott LaChance at the other point with McInnes, Clark, and Straka now up front. This is Wendell Clark. Matthew Schneider and across to LaChance. Puck deflected wide. Rangers have Leach and Pukaboom on with Presley and Sundstrom. Straka holding. Now LaChance to Schneider. Problem with the Islanders is they don't get their next to last in power play chances this season. They only have had 8 in the last 3 games. Matthew Schneider carrying the puck. 40 seconds to go in the power play. Fired around the board, stopped by Healy. Plays it. Tried to get it to Messier, was knocked away. Graves picks it up. Graves and Messier with Lidster and Samuelson for the Rangers. Messier dumps it down the boards. Graves chases against Brian McCabe. McCabe on with Schneider, Seamack, Anderson, and Bertuzzi is back on. Seems to be okay, skating freely. Brian McCabe. Healy stops the puck. Try to shoot it, was blocked, comes out in front. His shot goes wide by Kasparaitis. McCabe trying to keep it in. Graves was able to force it out to center, and that's it for the power play.
Glenn just loves to go to his forehand in behind the goal. Sometimes you have to go to your backhand to where the whiz sign is in the corner over there on the backhand side once in a while, just to change things up.
Teams are at full strength. No score in the game. Nicholas Anderson playing it to Todd Bertuzzi, looking for McCabe coming in, rather for Kasparaitis coming in from the left point, and he missed connection. All the way down, Soderstrom leaves it for young Brian McCabe. 5.5 minutes gone by in the first, no score in the game. Matthias Nordstrom on with Bruce Driver. Rangers scratching Kevin Lowe and Alexander Karpovtsev, along with Daniel Lacroix and Darren Langdon. Karpovtsev skated in practice this morning. He has been bothered by bruised ribs. Verbeek played it wide of the net. Kovalov goes to the puck, takes a hit from Bob Sweeney, comes away with the puck. Kovalov looking to make the play toward the net for Verbeek, went through.
Well, is that a great example of Kovalov's strength? Sweeney tried to tattoo him in the corner, and Kovalov just threw him off, and Sweeney's a big guy. He goes 6'3", 200 pounds. Kovalov walked out of the corner in the offensive zone with the puck to try and set up an offensive play.
Icing was whistled against the Islanders. Interesting configuration of this line. Kovalov, Verbeek, and Nemchinov.
Look at Sweeney move in. Kovalov takes the hit, pushes him off, and takes the puck. He is showing a lot of strength. Was he ever proud of his game in Pittsburgh, where he played center sometimes, and he said he never lost, a defensive zone face-off in that game. And he's right. The other day in practice, I was saying the other night from Pittsburgh, he won 20 or 25 in a row from all different centermen. He credits Mike Murphy, one of the assistant coaches, for teaching him face-off. He's strong. Here he's playing the wing right now with Kovalov and Verbeek. As you said, Sam, after the penalty kill, the lines change a little bit.
Messier and Graves had the last shift on the penalty kill. Here's Verbeek sending it out to Driver. It was just on the line. Ray Scapanello right on the play. Pilon moves it up the boards. Islanders try to clear out. They'll score in the game. A little over 6 minutes gone by in the first. Nordstrom back to the puck. Sweeney forechecking.
Islanders changing on the fly here to try and get a new group of players up front on the ice. Sweeney now goes off.
Brad Delgarno has come on for the first time, along with Dan Plant, number 21. And Reese just called up Chris Taylor, number 14.
Now this is their first shift as a line.
Taylor's got the puck. Now it's picked up by Darius Kasparaitis. Moves in on Leach, lost control. Leach turns it the other way.
That was a 3-on-2. Kasparaitis has had a great scoring chance. He missed the net, and they're on the 3-on-2. He didn't make it happen, and Kovalov was one of the players back.
Delgarno sends it in. Karams out of the corner to Healy. Plays it back in the corner. Delgarno after it. Picked up by Ferraro. Ferraro on with LaPerriere and Robitaille. Perriere knocked down by Schneider. Leach to the puck. Tried to tap it ahead. Delgarno blocked it.
Islanders playing a smart first period here. Their defense are up with the forwards, and their 5-man units backing up. See, there's all 5 guys back right now. Robitaille centering. LaPerriere turns Band on the shot. Leach retrieves it, Band on it, and here comes Flatley. 3-on-2 Islanders, 4-on-2 developing. Flatley across to Schneider. Schneider shoots high. Bounces down behind the net. Good hit by LaPerriere on Flatley. There's 2 odd-man rushes for the Islanders in a row here, and they didn't register a shot. Schneider put it high and wide. Earlier, it was Kasparaitis who couldn't make the pass or the shot.
Derek King works his way around the net, picked up by Leach. Turns out, back pass, shot by Flatley, saved by Healy. Oh, Flats and Heels doing it. First shot on goal.
I forgot about the Flats and Heels show.
They are. Flats with the puck right now, being checked by Ferraro.
Now, that was only the Islanders' first shot. But remember this, they've only given up 2.
Sweeney out in front. He gets a shot off, kicked away by Healy. And it's cleared by Ferraro. Chris Luongo goes back for it. 8.5 minutes gone by in the first period. No score in the game. Luongo looks. Try to hit McInnes. Samuelson sends it across. Driver to Messier and back to Samuelson. Martin Straka forechecking. Pass went off target. Got the chance. Pumped by Nicholas Sundstrom. Luongo moves it off the boards and out. Comes down to Healy. Lets it go. Touches it. No icing. Samuelson sends it around the board. Quick shot glove by Healy.
Yeah, Glenn needed to do that. He touched the puck and shouldn't have. He should have just allowed Old Samuelson to take it. As soon as he touched it, knocked everybody out of balance and lost the puck.
Glenn Healy talking things over.
I don't know if he's trying to figure out if he should touch it or not, and then when he does, it's too late. I think he was waiting for the signal from the linesman who waved it off, and then he touched the puck, and then Ulf Samuelson had to reach back and get it. It created a turnover, and the Islanders got their fourth shot on goal. They've outshot the Rangers 4-2 here, just after, 9 minutes and 5 seconds we played of this first period.
He should have just let Samuelson take it all the way?
Just take it all the way, and then he would have gotten it clean near the goal net and been able to make the play outside of their own zone.
Long shot. Score! Marty McInnes with the long shot that got through Glenn Healy, and the Islanders take a 1-0 lead.
See what happens? Because of that little mix-up in the goal net, the puck went to the Islanders. Glenn made the save and forced the face-off. Now the Rangers end up not controlling the puck in their own zone. The puck went back to the point where McInnes was covering up for everybody, and it deflects right there. I think off of Wendell Clark through the legs of Glenn Healy, and it's 1-0. Now on the right side, you're going to see McInnes cover up. Look how he comes back to the blue line. Beautiful job. Now he takes a shot. Wendell Clark turns, and either him or Bruce Driver went past. As you see the puck flipping and fluttering, and it goes right through the legs of Glenn Healy.
Might have gone off Driver's backside.
Well, it may have. However, if that little mix-up didn't happen, there wouldn't have been a face-off in the Rangers zone.
Ferraro quickly to the puck. So the Islanders, for the first time in this season series between the Islanders and Rangers, have scored the first goal. Seamak plays it in.
It's only the second time they've led the game, and this is the 5th game of the series.
Up the boards to Robitaille. Pass deflected by Seamak. Marty McInnes gets the goal, so apparently it went off of Bruce Driver. Here's Todd Bertuzzi, 2-on-1. And it swept aside by Nordstrom, then centered, and Healy got a piece. Shot by Seamak deflected. And the Rangers clear out.
Got to be somewhere around 4 odd man rushes now for the Islanders. Rangers level is at the Islander level right now, or even a notch below it. They've got to pick their level up 2 or 3 notches.
McInnes from Straka and Pilon at 9:14. Derek King against Brian Leetch. Patrick Flatley hit by Vukovic. King in after the puck. Leetch still with him. Now Flatley. Vukovic hits him. Out to Luongo with room. Saved by Healy.
That was a great save.
Luongo again. All the way through. Flatley's got the puck. Vukovic checks him. Now it's Derek King. Islanders controlling play the last couple of minutes. Vukovic battling against Flatley. Kovalov looking for the puck. Comes to Derek King. Leetch picks him up. Leetch kicks it into the corner.
Islanders keep this up. They'll draw themselves another power play, too, the way they're working.
Kovalov trying to work it free. He does. Here comes Leetch. Robitaille to the right. Back is LeChance. Robitaille turns. Beats Kovalov. Score! Beautiful rush down the ice. Leetch, Robitaille, and Kovalov.
Well, the Rangers will be smiling a little bit now. They were pressured. They were pressured for a complete shift. But they did their job defensively, didn't take a penalty, and broke out of the zone with the help of Brian Leetch. Look at Kovalov. Look how strong he is. Give it to Leetch and watch it happen. Now Kovalov will come in late. He's way behind everybody there. Islanders are not back picking him up. When Leetch went to the net, it took his man with him. And that opened up the ice. Leetch, when he passes the puck to Robitaille, goes to the net. That opens up the ice. Kovalov, he almost missed his shot. He waited and went off the goalie and back just inside the goalpost. Robitaille, great play by Robitaille, and he you know that Kovalov wanted to make sure. He took his time, but almost too long. Look at that. That little pass took the defenseman out. He took the other man out. Kovalov had room.
Alexei Kovalov with goals in back-to-back games. Third goal in the last 5 for Alexei. 15 goals on the season, and 11-12 is the time. The Islanders have called a quick timeout.
That's interesting, isn't it? You know what's interesting is the Rangers forwards, Robitaille's the left winger, and when he was in his own zone, Sam, he was on the right wing. Kovalov, the right winger, he was on the left side. So they got mixed up in their own zone, but at least they stayed in their position. And then Leach helped them head up the ice, and Kovalov, he's starting to come on. There's Coley Campbell, who was talking to Alexei Kovalov about the shift. It's a good time to teach young players when something good has happened. You seem to be a little more receptive when something good has happened, as opposed to getting the business when it's on a negative.
8:35 to go in the first. The game is tied. Bob Sweeney all over Mark Messier. Flatley sends it in. Kovalov from Robitaille and Leach at 11-12 to tie the game. Rangers with 3 shots on goal. Islanders with 8. Lidster all the way across. Bouncing puck knocked down by Verbeek. Played by Kasparaitis. And chip clear. Samuelsson has the puck. Islanders changing. Samuelsson lifts in. Matthew Schneider looks around. They get it to Dan Plant. Plant's on with Chris Taylor, number 14. Brad Delgarno, number 15. Plant dropped it off, and he's cleared quickly by Graves. Schneider moves it. Delgarno lost it. Messier's got it.
Imagine Mike Milbury told his players to not even worry about it. They played so well. They've outshot the Rangers 8-3. They've had a pile of odd man rushes, and they're playing kind of a trapping defense that's working. So why change anything, even though they gave up the goal on a real good skill play by 3 Ranger players?
Kyprios moves across with LaPerriere, and Verbeek in a save made by Soderstrom. Verbeek goes off. Koser has come on. Martin Straka. Straka had been playing better the last couple of games when he was moved to the line with Zygmunt Palffy. Here's a lead for Koser going in against LaChance. LaChance stays with him. Koser drops it to LaPerriere. Out of the corner, centering pass goes through. Trying to get it to Koser, who was driving to the net. Straka blocked by Driver. Straka again, kept in by Koser. Kyprios lost sight of it. LaChance finds it, lifts it up, and out of the zone. Driver, Straka on him. Straka took it away. Nice play. Moves it across for McInnes. And whistle for an offside on the Islanders. 6:48 to go in the first. And the game is tied. Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser. Coley Campbell and Mike Bilberry.
They're keeping this rivalry alive, aren't they?
I would say.
I'll tell you what, you know both people, they're fiercely competitive. I like them both. They both work for 2 different companies, obviously. They're going to do what they have to do for their own teams. But they're both competitive. I respect both of them.
Well, they're becoming highly quotable in this rivalry.
Yes, better than you and me getting in trouble.
Straka slowed down. Sundstrom. Now Presley. Presley dumps it in. Weird bounce out of the corner, cracking the boards there. Presley centered across. Marty McInnes takes the puck. Bukaboom and Wendell Clark. And Bukaboom got a touch.
Wendell Clark behind his back there, he had a big white piece of protection to cover his back up.
Oh, you know this rivalry that you talked about? Well, we went to Mike Milbury and asked him about his feelings of Coley Campbell.
Well, I think it's a little ridiculous that he would be sniping from his high perch right now against our poor gang of kids. But you know, we're going to show up and do our best, and hope that we have a chance to win this thing when it's all down to the last couple minutes.
Well, you know, he says the Rangers are arrogant, right?
I think they both say a lot of things. I enjoy it. Thinking that at least they're keeping us interested. I'll tell you that. You know, Sam, as we have a little break here, they're cleaning the snow away from the Islanders' goal line. I was a player representative for the Rangers for many years, and Mike Milbury was there representing the Bruins. He was the only guy that went head-to-head with Alan Eagleson, who was running the Players Association at the time. He had a lot of guts, a lot of intestinal fortitude to do what he did. And I think, in hindsight, as years have gone by, a lot of stuff he did was absolutely correct. Some of us didn't quite see it that way at the time.
Things have gone, you know, we find out so many different things about people. Todd Bertuzzi shaken up, hit into the boards, and now he's holding his face in his hands, doubled over. There he is.
Left eye, or near it. And nothing's gone right for the Islanders. Oh, goodness.
Nose.
He was in the corner, and I think he was in the corner with Doug Lidster. They're the training staff, and probably some help from the Rangers, too. Or maybe it was Samuelsson that was in the corner with him. Watch him move in here. Samuelsson put his stick up.
Was up.
Absolutely. I thought it was 6. It was 5. Samuelsson knew he was going to get hit here. Put his stick right up. Bertuzzi ran right into the end of it. Oh, man. Some people will say that that was absolutely done on purpose. Some people will say it wasn't done on purpose. You always put your stick up to protect yourself. I don't think Mike or his teammate or his players saw what happened because it was down to their left, way down in the corner. Samuelsson there saying and shrugging the shoulders. You could see that it was an accident. And that's awfully close to the eye. You know, you always put your stick up to protect yourself. Players have done that for years and years and years and years, but you're responsible for it at the same time. Van Hellemond has talked to both linesmen. Bertuzzi moves in here. Samuelsson puts the stick up and right into the face. Oh, my.
This was 2 weeks ago, and another incident involving these two. Bertuzzi knocks down Samuelsson.
That was a good hit. That was a good hit. Samuelsson didn't see it coming because of Glenn Healy in the way. Bertuzzi got a major for that, right?
No, I don't.
He got for that? I don't know if he got penalized or not. I didn't think he should have been. Just trying to find my game sheet.
He did get a penalty. He did get a penalty, but it wasn't a major, John, I don't think.
I'm trying to find it here. Bertuzzi, 2 minutes for charging. And it shouldn't have been a minor. I don't even think that.
Now, on this, I think, had it been detected, it went undetected. Had it been detected, it would have been a penalty.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it should have been. You put your stick up. If you catch somebody, you're responsible for your stick. The question is it a double minor or is it a major? That depends on who watches it and what they saw.
Healy made a good save on an angled shot. Islanders, it's back-to-back games. The game against San Jose, that elbow by Jay Moore on Palpe certainly warranted a penalty.
Possibly a major. Islanders play the trap here, by the way. That's very good.
5 minutes to go in the first, tied 1-1.
Let's
try to get you an update on Bertuzzi's condition. Hopefully not serious. Samuelsson across to Lidster. Now Robitaille with Ferraro and Kovalov. Collision involving Ferraro.
Robitaille took a stick up high in the face.
Oh boy.
On the collision with Flatley and Ferraro.
Ferraro and Seamack were involved first.
Seamack, not Flatley. I'm sorry. Yes, Seamack and Ferraro. They were involved, and somebody's stick went right up, I think, and caught Robitaille, who dropped down. I hope the sticks get down in a hurry. I love hitting. I love everything, but I don't like it when sticks are up.
As it turns out, accidental play. Take a look at this here.
In behind Robitaille is Ferraro and Seamack. Ferraro looks like he's holding up Seamack. Seamack's stick, bang, accidentally clips the face shield and lip. There's Ferraro. You see the collision. It's accidental more than anything else. And the stick goes up accidentally into Robitaille's face.
4:25 to go, first period.
It's like last night in New Jersey. That was an accidental play. When Albeline's stick caught Dvorak. Right. No, caught McKay. I'm sorry. And everybody blamed Dvorak. It looked like an absolute accident. Very similar to this one here.
Leach moves away from Sweeney. Tipped ahead by Messier in the Islanders zone. Kasparaitis back for it. Moved it quickly off the skate. Sweeney comes out. Leach flatly on him. Moved it quickly. Verbeek takes a hit. Bounces off of Derek King. So the strength of Verbeek. Messier's pass off the skate. Bounces into the corner. Graves there. LeChance on him. Derek King takes the puck. King change.
Islanders have played a smart period, haven't they? They're playing the trap. Watch here. It's kind of a 1-2-2. Now they're going to go whichever side Bruce passes the puck, they'll try and clear. The pass doesn't work, and it's icy against the Rangers. Rangers have not had a power play in the period.
Nope.
So it's a smart road period so far for the Islanders. The only problem was Bertuzzi getting injured, and we don't know how serious when Samuelson's stick blade went into his face.
And the defensive effort has worked.
Yeah.
Rangers only 4 shots on goal.
And almost we're closing in on 17 minutes of play. Boy, Mike mentioned he would never play the trap. Looks like a pretty good trap that he's got going. It's working for a team that just doesn't have an overabundance of talent, and a lot of their talent out with injuries. They're over 320-some games now, man games lost to injury. The Rangers are in the 90s.
One after another. It's another defenseman here, another defenseman there. Now the 2 forwards, Green and Palffy, go down. Though Palffy's close to coming back, and Green has started to skate lightly.
I think the league and the Players Association have to have a very long look at the series of concussions happening around the league, and be very careful at how quickly players come back.
Belanger is still out.
Well, Belanger came back, got into a scrap, got hurt. Tenorti came back, he got into a scrap and took one on the button, he got hurt. This is very dangerous. Very dangerous for everybody.
Brett Lindros is still out.
Yes, and they're going to know in the very near future if he's going to be able to ever come back. We've seen that he has talked to more doctors, including today, I think, to try and get some other opinions and whether or not he'll be able to come back next year or retire.
Nordstrom lifted it into the Islanders zone. Soderstrom leaves it for Schneider.
And quickly with good news, Mike Richter talked to Tony Granato yesterday. Tony, former Ranger, playing in LA, had brain surgery due to concussions and is doing very well. He's at home and doing well. We wish Tony and his family all the best.
Dan Plant moves it around the boards for Brad Delgarno. Ferraro trying to take it away. Right to the side of the net, a save by Healy. Plant with a tricky shot out of the corner. Healy made the save and covered up.
Yeah, very tricky and a smart play. Plant only has 2 goals on the season. Here he saw that there was no options at all to deal with. Pilon pitches and keeps the puck in. Plant looking from behind the goal line, trying to bank it in off Healy, and that was a troublesome little play.
Nice look from the MCS Cannon goal cam. 2:11 to go in the first. Glenn Healy has faced 8 shots, stopped at 7. Chris Taylor on the face-off against Ray Ferraro. Kept in by Taylor. Healy one-hands it. Kovalov. That time he didn't go on the forehand, John. Healy moved it away, tried the other side, little change up.
We just have to mention it up here, the little microphone he's got in his helmet.
Pass comes out of the zone. Ferraro to Kovalov. He goes one-on-one with his buddy Kasparaitis. Holds. Spins. Taken down. Nothing called on the play. Kovalov again. This time picked up by Pilon. Ferraro in the corner. Off the stick of Soderstrom and out of the zone.
The Islanders, Rangers, when they have forecheck, they've tried to do some cycling and such. But the Islanders haven't gotten away from some good defensive zone coverage. They've given up the 1 odd man rush. 1. And the Rangers scored on it. The Islanders had about 4 over a 5-minute period. You can hardly get a shot. But you can see that their game plan here is working pretty well so far.
Matthew Schneider with the puck. Knocked down by Derek King. Flatly checked by Verbeek. Held by Verbeek. Penalty call.
Verbeek reached out, grabbed a hold of Flatley's stick with his one hand off his own stick. And it's a holding the stick penalty. The Islanders will get their second power play of the period. Only 1:01 to go here in the first period.
Pat sits down. He will be Al Trotwig's guest after the first period.
Verbeek stops skating. Now watch him reach out there. Grab a hold of the stick in the arm. Van Helman was trailing in behind the play on the same side of the ice and made the call.
Al's down at ice side. Al.
Sam, Todd Bertuzzi suffered a diagonal cut from just underneath his eyebrow over toward the eyelid, but it did not get to the eye. He did get some blood in the eye. That was disorienting and a problem for him for a moment. He's being evaluated, then stitched up, and then they'll decide whether he can come back or not. But obviously very, very close to being very serious.
Thanks for the update, Al. Hopefully he will be back. Coming down to 45 seconds to go. Second power play of the game for the Islanders. Rangers have not had a power play in the game. Bookabum swings it around the board. LeChance stops it. 1-1 to score. 35 seconds to go in the period. Schneider, quick shot, deflected wide. Leach with a hit in the corner. Straka with the puck. Straka to Wendell Clark. Straka, Clark, McInnes. The chance and Schneider for the power play. Schneider moves in. Save by Healy. Good save by Glenn Healy on a tough, hard shot by Matthew Schneider.
Bookeboom did a good job knocking Marty McInnes to the side. This time Wendell Clark wasn't parked in front. He was out helping move the puck around. Schneider's got the good wrist shot. This time he did hit the net, and Healy held on for the draw. Wendell Clark, you see here, see that white protection he's got above his hockey pants? That's to help his back out. He did a lot of the work to set up the shot for Schneider. On the Islanders' only goal in the period, Wendell was right in front. He provided the screen when McInnes did score the goal. Wendell's been shopped by Mike Milbury around the league a little bit. In fact, he was even shopped to the Rangers.
Really?
Rangers, yeah, absolutely. Rangers digging him. A lot of talk that he may end up in Toronto back with the Leafs. The Leafs trainer, Chris Broadhurst, does his own acupuncture, and he really does a good job with Wendell and Wendell's back. And if there's a chance that Toronto can find a way to make the deal, I think they'll try to get Wendell back in Toronto. And I don't know what Mike's going to do, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Milbury, if he can make the right deal, will move this fella who's a good guy and a good player, and I hope his back hangs in there.
Well, it makes sense for a team like the Islanders if you have a guy who still has some market value and you're rebuilding the team.
Free up some Fishnagles to sign some of the younger players.
Like Brian Berard.
That's it, bullseye.
I got you. Wendell Clark talking about
the
that
goal.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's saying he got it or not. There's the high protection above the pants to help out when he's cross-checked from behind on his back.
First period has come to an end. Islanders and Rangers tied 1-1. Al with Pat Verbeek when we come back.
Hi, everybody. Bob Page rejoining you from our Sports Desk studios once again. If the Flyers are going to catch the Rangers in the NHL's Atlantic Division race, they're going to have to get started tonight. They're 10 points back of the Washington Capitals, and in fact, they lead the Caps down at the Spectrum now 2-0 late in the first period of that one. Former Devils coach Jim Schoenfeld and his team in the 6th playoff position. On the Philadelphia power play, as you see, Pat Falloon sets up the great Eric Lindros, who scores another one. The Flyers later added a second goal, as we mentioned, and are on top of the Capitals by the score of 2-0. If you were with us in the pregame show, you heard Dennis Potvin's unhappiness with the way his former team, the New York Islanders, have been run in recent years. I asked if he were bitter about the Isles' fall from grace.
No, you know what happens is that it doesn't feel like my old alumni, that's all. And I think most of us kind of feel the same way. I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody, but Bob Nystrom is still very much involved with the organization. A lot of guys are still here in the New York area. It just doesn't feel, I don't watch the box scores for the Islanders. I should. I should be watching every night. What are they doing? What's going on? I don't. And why? They're not the old Islanders.
In the NFL, the Cowboys suffered a crushing blow today when they lost standout defensive lineman Russell Maryland, who signed as a free agent with the Oakland Raiders. I'll have more right after this. Baseball, the Mets worked out under beautiful conditions at Port St. Lucie today. A lot of eyes on pitcher Juan Acevedo, the terrific prospect acquired for Brett Saberhagen. Acevedo was shelved by elbow problems late last year.
This is the first injury I've had in my career where I go out there and I think about it each and every day. You know, it's not something that I like, but I took this offseason off to get stronger and heal up, and I have, but there's still a little bit of tenderness out there, and hopefully just doing my treatments here and running a lot and doing my exercises, I'll heal up.
More on the Mets with Mike Crispino and a chat with the Yankees' Bernie Williams at our half-hour show at 10:30.
Back at Madison Square Garden, Sam Rosen, John Davidson, Al Trautwig. A look at first period highlights brought to you by Minolta, the official camera of the Garden. Islanders score first, John.
As you see the face-off in the Rangers zone, the puck looks like it's controlled by the Rangers, a little mix-up with the linesman, and then the Islanders do a good job here of pinching. See, that's Pilon pinching on the far side. McInnes stepped in behind, and the shot redirected right through the legs of Glenn Healy, and the Islanders, for the first time in this series, got the first goal of the game. There's Pilon, 47. He pinched. McInnes fills in for him. The puck got to him. There's a fluttering shot. Bingo. It hit somebody, either Driver or Wendell Clark, and it did not hit Glenn Healy. 1-0 Islanders.
Rangers tied it up, though, in a great rush.
Oh, yeah. They would have been all Islanders here for about a minute straight, but they couldn't get a clean shot. All of a sudden, everybody stationary at the blue line. 3-on-2 with Leach on the play. He'll go right to the net, draw his man to him. Lachance goes over to Robitaille, who makes a great pass, and all Kovalov had to do was hit the net. He did, and we were tied up at 1.
1-1 the score. Islanders on the power play to start the second period. Back for the action right after this.
New York Rangers hockey is brought to you in part by Hertz. For business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz. By your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. And by NYNEX. It's an easy call.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at the first period scoring summary brought to you by Hertz. For business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz. McInnes at 9-14. Kovalov matched it at 11-12. Shots on goal, Islanders 10, Rangers only 4. That's only one more than their fewest in a period all season. Quality chances, Islanders more. Odd man rushes, Islanders more. Islanders 0 for 1 on the power play. They'll start the second period on the power play. Before the start of the second period, Al caught up with assistant coach Guy Charron of the Islanders.
Guy, with the defensive style that you guys are playing, you love it when you score first, but now the Rangers have tied the game, so what does that do to your approach for the rest of the game?
Well, I don't think we have to change anything. It's obvious that we're trying to minimize the damage here as long as we can and stay in the game for the longest time we can during this course of this game. And we got caught a little bit, and we allowed a 3-on-2, which we're hopeful with the system that we wouldn't allow that. But again, I think we got to stick to the game plan, play with some discipline, stay out of the penalty box, obviously, because they got a great power play, and who knows what could happen by the end of the game.
And they have stayed out of the penalty box. That's very well said. In fact, they start this period with the power play, 57 seconds now on the Verbeek penalty. They played a smart period, a real smart period. They just had the one real bad problem, and quickly the Rangers with Brian Leach on the rush, able to lead it to score the goal and tie the game up.
Good early pressure on this penalty kill by Graves and now Messier.
I've heard some talk that Todd Bertuzzi may be sent to the hospital.
Maybe to check. Clark open. Save by Healy. Wendell Clark wide open. Healy made a good save on a tough low shot. Clark, McInnes, Straka, Schneider, and Lachance for the power play. Now Lachance. And that deflects across. Ukeboom and Leach with Messier and Graves. Clark moves it up to Straka. Ukeboom fell down. Out of the corner, Wendell Clark to the net. Pass in front. Blocked. Good play and cleared out. Final seconds of the penalty to Pat Verbeek. He's set to return. He's back, and the teams are at full strength. Islanders 0 for 2 on the power play. 1-1 the score. Doug Lidster swings it around the boards. Was stopped by Sweeney. Clark's path blocked by Samuelson. Good play by Ulf Samuelson. Flatley beaten to the puck by Lidster. And Sweeney along the boards keeps it in. Flatley works it down for Sweeney. Banged off the boards by Samuelson. Good work by the Islanders. Flatley to Clark. Samuelson hits him. Knocked the helmet off. Here comes Flatley. Healy missed with a sweeping check. And the Rangers able to break out. Knocked away from Ferraro by Kasparaitis. Good start to the period by the Islanders.
Now they've got the power play going. They got a couple of chances. Glenn Healy was there, and the Islanders continue to battle. They're 0 for 2 on their power play, but they certainly happen to be in a battling mood here.
Derek King with a good hit on Nordstrom. Turned the puck over. Now it's Bob Sweeney behind the net, looking. Knocked away by Healy. Sweeney the other side, cleared away by Driver. Luongo around for Derek King. Driver checks him. Kovalov battles Dan Plant. The penalty's upcoming on Alexei Kovalov for interference. So another power play for the Islanders. Before we get to that, let's go to Al Trautwig at ice side. Al.
Sam, the laceration to Todd Bertuzzi's eye is about 5 centimeters long. That's roughly 2 inches, and it cuts across his eyelid. After getting the blood out of the eye and then checking things out, they believe there's a possibility that his eyeball was actually lacerated through the eyelid. He's going to be on his way soon, if not already, to an ophthalmologist here in Manhattan to have that checked out.
Oh, goodness.
Thanks for the report. And again, we certainly hope nothing serious with that, but medical attention being given to Todd Bertuzzi.
Well, here's the penalty. See Kovalov holding the man away from the puck. As the puck went along the backboards, that was Dan Plant really working hard And Van Hellemond gives the Rangers the third penalty or third opportunity for the Islanders on their power play.
Alexander Semak on with Nicholas Anderson, Derek King, Scott LaChance, and Matthew Schneider. Islanders 0 for 2 on the power play. Messier against Semak. Now Leach Bukaboom, Messier, Graves. The Islanders without Travis Green, without Zygmunt Palffy, and now without Todd Bertuzzi.
I'm sure if you're an Islander fan, you're going, that should have been a major, and Samuelsson should be thrown out. If you're a Ranger fan, you're going, shouldn't have been a penalty at all. Nobody called anything, the referee or linesman. And to be very honest with you, I'm sitting there going, I don't know if it was a penalty or not. I absolutely don't know. It's a tough call.
My feeling is, John, that if
you're responsible for your steps, there's no doubt. He put it up. I think he could have had a penalty.
I think had one of the officials, any of the three officials, detected it, would have been a 2-minute minor.
Or a fourth, because it could have created an injury. If it's an accidental play where you cause blood or cause an injury, it's a double minor, Sam.
Anderson moves in. Drops it back, intended for LaChance, comes out of the zone. Schneider retrieves it. 1 minute to go on the power play. Islanders whistled for icing. So, good job by the Rangers thus far. 58 seconds remaining in the penalty to Alexei Kovalov. Milbury with a tough task to keep his Islanders up and going with not all that much to shoot for the rest of this season. Mike Milbury, he's got some strong feelings about Ulf Samuelsson.
This is all masking Ulf's butt end, I think, and he was coming by the bench and antagonizing me in particular, and I made a dismissive gesture, but certainly didn't spit at the guy. And sometimes I wish I had, but I thought it was silly that they brought it up in the course of the game, and I thought it was a way to mask, the kind of behavior that Ulf likes to exhibit, which is butt-end guys.
The feeling towards Ulf, and echo back to Boston days with the rivalry.
Sure, there's nobody. Everybody hates Ulf. That's common knowledge. When he's on the ice, he's a jerk. He's a good player, but he's still a jerk.
The only players who really like Ulf are the ones on his team, and they love him. They don't just like him; they love him.
Islander power play with 32 seconds remaining. Samuelsson tried to move it to Sundstrom. Sundstrom picks it up, able to get it to Presley. His clearing attempt hit Matthew Schneider, but Lidster able to clear all the way down. Mike Milbury referring to an incident back in the previous meeting between these two teams 2 weeks ago here at Madison Square Garden, when it is alleged that he spit at Ulf Samuelsson. Puck deflects up into the crowd. I was told by someone before tonight's game that he actually said he did spit, but not at Ulf Samuelsson.
You know what? I don't even want to know. It's in the past. I don't even want to know. So this power play, not getting it done with only 6 seconds left on the minor to Alexei Kovalov. Shots now 11-4 in favor of the Islanders, and we've played just over 24 minutes of this game. Guy Charron talking with Mike Milbury. Guy Charron and Rick Bowness, very, very good assistant coaches, just like the Rangers. They're very thick in that area, too. Very deep in that area with Richard Todd and Mike Murphy.
Driver holding. Teams are back at full strength. Islanders are 0 for 3 on the power play in the game. Nordstrom and Driver. Ferraro, Kovalov, and Robitaille up front. Kovalov carrying in. Leaves it for Robitaille. Gets a shot off wide.
The Rangers better find a way to deal with the trap. The Islanders are playing it pretty well. And you've got to get sharp. Oh, boy, pretty good cross-check by Wendell Clark.
Here comes the first power play of the game for the Rangers. Nordstrom to Kovalov. Driver's got the puck. Extra skater on for the Rangers. Shot went wide. Messier has come on. Delayed penalty on the Islanders. Nordstrom across. Robitaille. Nordstrom. Driver. Rangers keep moving. Driver shoots. Save made. Good glove save by Soderstrom.
Beautiful save. This is what the Islanders didn't want. Wendell Clark was up by the blue line. Cross-check Bruce Driver from behind. Away from the play. Gives the Rangers their first power play.
Wendell Clark for cross-checking at 5'10", and the Rangers get their first power play of the game.
You'll see Driver here keep the puck in, turns around, watches the puck, little shove on Clark, and Wendell reacted. You see Andy Van Hellemond in the corner watching the whole thing. This is what the Islander coaches really wanted to stay away from, any reaction penalties, and Wendell takes one. Rangers' first power play.
Messier, side of the net, Robitaille. Messier, Robitaille, Verbeek, Driver, and Leach for the power play. Messier holding, Robitaille side of the net. Save made by Soderstrom through the screen. Kasparaitis roughed up Messier a little bit. Kasparaitis, Pilon, Plant, and McInnes for the Islanders. Messier with the puck. Islanders penalty killing is last in the NHL. They have given up the most power play goals against of any team.
Yeah, they were 24th last year, so you can see it's been a problem for them for a long period of time. And a lot of that, Sam, has to do with the lack of goaltending. That's been a major problem for the Islanders. This is the 5th game with the Rangers this season. They've used 4 different goaltenders. It tells you about the consistency of their goaltending. Penalty killing has a lot to do with goaltending.
Puck cleared out by Seamack. Going for it is Anderson against Driver. Leach picks up the puck. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Leach with a rush. Dumps it into the corner. Graves has come on now with Verbeek and Ferraro. Puck cleared out.
Nothing wrong with this penalty kill.
Not at all.
Very sharp. It's been, again, the forwards working with the defensemen on the Islanders as a unit tonight, not separate units. It's all one. Very tough to beat.
Islanders have actually been perfect. Leach got tripped up, prompted a roar from the crowd. Nothing called. There was an offside on the play. Islanders have been perfect in 2 of their last 3 games in penalty killing, 9 for 11. They were 3 for 3 against Ottawa, 4 for 4, taking them to be checked out.
Boy, the Islanders, you just can't fool with injuries like that. The Islanders have, it's been just horrible. Horrible, the amount of injuries they've had. And with Todd, you just, and the eye, you can't take any chances at all. Gosh.
Samuelson drives the puck around the boards. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Lidster and Samuelson on with Kovalov, Ferraro, and Graves. Kovalov in the corner. Out to Lidster. Gets it back. Graves set up in front. Ferraro takes it. Now Kovalov. Ferraro. Kovalov. Power play is over. Kovalov looking, shooting, save. Soderstrom. No, went over. Deflected over the top. Excuse me. Teams are back at full strength. 1-1 the score with 12:35 remaining in the second. Long shot went wide. Lidster took the shot. Fired out by Van Plant. And a whistle for an offside. High stick, no. The puck was touched with a stick above the shoulder. 12:30 to go in the second. Tied at 1. 12.5 minutes to go in the second, tied at 1. Rangers just coming off their first power play chance. Unable to capitalize, have only 6 shots on goal.
Yeah, the only good part about the Rangers game so far is the fact that it's tied 1-1. And that the Rangers have won 14 of 20 faceoffs, so they're 14-6 on draws. But it's been the Islanders' system, and the Islanders have played a tenacious game to this point, a smart game.
Yeah.
Here they're changing on the fly. They got Flatley off.
Give away to Sweeney, and then help from Nordstrom. Driver has it back.
They're trying to get their 4th line on the ice now against the Rangers checking line.
Mentioning all those injuries that the Islanders had, I neglected to mention Dennis Baskey still out with the concussion, post-concussion syndrome. Brent Severin is out of the lineup for tonight's game.
Back problem. The Islanders, I think they're going to try and take a close look at their off-season conditioning program. Perhaps change it. They just had too many injuries for too many years in a row now, and maybe it needs some little change here and there. In fact, there's been some suggestion that they may be told, if they want to, it's their option during the summer to hire individual personal trainers, pay them whatever they need to get paid, and work at their off-season conditioning individually.
Vance responded to a good hit by Ian LaPerriere. LaPerriere, now Messier has come on with Graves. Soderstrom. Here's Graves. Try to get it to Messier. He's checked by McCabe. Leach quickly to Bukaboom. On him, Anderson. Knocked down in front. Islanders break out. Nicholas Anderson with the puck.
The teams lift their level when they play the Rangers.
Anderson's shot went off of Leach. Yes.
It's a great example of it here. The Rangers aren't playing their best, but at the same time, the Islanders certainly are, and they're playing well.
Puck comes out in front. Derek King's got it, and a save by Healy.
Hey, folks, for our goaltender, this is a long road trip from where he started on King, talking about Healy, going all the way across and staying on his feet. It's a great save. A lot of goaltenders would have dropped to their knees or dropped to their side, but they didn't. Look at King now, right in front of the net here. He'll avoid Brian Leach. Now look at Healy. Stay with him, 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 and then make the catching glove save. Oh, it wasn't a hard shot, but a lot of goaltenders would have dropped down and taken themselves out of the play. Great play by King to get away from Leach. And look at Healy. That's super goaltending. Islanders played it smart. The only problem for Derek King there is the puck was on edge the whole time, and that's got to be frustrating because you don't get the velocity you want with your shot when the puck's sitting on edge.
You say that's kind of a textbook move by Healy, the way he played that?
That's the way it's supposed to be done. But most goaltenders, I mean, if it had been me in the old days, I would have been on my knees or on my butt or something, and King would have had the open side. But Glenn, who was really confident, just stayed on his feet and just moved with him. He gave Derek absolutely nothing to shoot at.
Samuelson moves the puck. Ferraro racing for it. McCabe back. Kovalov goes to the net. Pass for Kovalov. Knocked aside by Sliders for miss by Robitaille. Lidster's got the puck. Flatley is forechecking for the Islanders. Samuelson moves it again out of the zone. All the way down. This time it'll be an icing called on the Rangers. 10:18 to go in the second period. Islanders and Rangers tied at 1.
Islanders' best month was January. They went 4-5-2 and showed some good signs. Well, Samuelson back waiting for the face-off. Take a look at the last play of the Rangers. Ferraro with Kovalov heading to the net. And there's Soderstrom. He made a nice play with his goal stick, and then you see there the slash or the stick coming down on Robitaille by Schneider. Broke Schneider's stick right in half. Broke the blade right off the stick itself.
Sorry, John, that replay was from the MCS Cannon goal can. Tommy Soderstrom ducks in.
Well, the puck's dropped. He stays in there. He's still in there. He's still in there. He's still in there. Still in there. Oh, here he comes. The puck's almost at center ice. Here he comes.
That's great.
Out of the birdcage.
Luongo hit by Kosar. Messier, Graves, and Kosar the line now. Kosar battling LaChance for the puck. And the whistle stops play. Islanders last week had some shortages at forward. They called up Craig Darby from Worcester and Andre Vasiliev from Utah. They sent them back. They have a working agreement with Worcester, and I understand that Worcester has had, into the early month of February, has had 72 call-ups, 66 from St. Louis, the other team they have a working agreement.
Now, does that surprise you at all that Mike Keenan's called up 62 guys?
Jimmy Roberts, the coach of Worcester, says he answers the phone. Hi, Mike, how many do you want today?
Well, when they got beat by Ottawa the other night, 7-1. Whoop.
Here come the Islanders. Score! Straka lifted it up over Healy. And the Islanders have a 2-1 lead. Second time they have led in the game.
And they deserve it. They played themselves a strong game to this point, and we just went past the midpoint of the game itself. Here the Rangers are in their zone. Wendell Clark with a good move. Now, Straka doesn't get this shot clean. So the puck is fluttering. Barely he gets away from Glenn Healy. He didn't really catch it clean. There's the good move by Wendell Clark. Gives it to McInnes, who in turn gives it across to Straka. Watch the shot. He misses it a little bit. He put the blade through the puck, but the change-up shot got right by the catching glove of Glenn Healy, who was probably expecting a better shot. Rangers not at all near the top level of their game, and their passion level's got to get up a notch or 2 or 3 here.
Straka, as I mentioned, has been playing better of late, in better condition. Said he was not in good condition when he came to the Islanders in the three-way deal with Toronto and Ottawa.
Remember, Jacques Martin, the new coach in Ottawa, said the team was not in good shape when he got there. And Straka, of course, came over from Ottawa, so it makes sense.
Here they come again. Healy makes a big save. Big save on Alexander Semak. Straka with his 11th from McInnes and Clark at 10:23. And And the fans here at the Garden getting a little restless. A little under 9 minutes to go in the second. And the Islanders leading for the second time. It's 2-1. Matthew Schneider with a puck.
The more physical team so far has been the Islanders in Madison Square Garden here. The Rangers will pick their passion level up here, I'm sure. They have to.
Fans trying to get into it. Sweeney center, score! And the Islanders lead 3-1 as Patrick Flatley beats his good buddy Glenn Healy. And the Islanders, with back-to-back goals, have taken a 2-goal lead. It's 3-1.
Flatley scores this one on the backhand. Mike Milbury doesn't need to change a thing. His team has played a passionate game thus far. Here's Sweeney changing speeds, going wide. Now right through the middle. There he is, Flatley. It was picked up by Sundstrom, but not good enough. Look at Sweeney, change speeds, gets wide, backhand pass to a backhand shot. And this strictly was Patrick Flatley getting away from Nicholas Sundstrom. That hasn't happened very often to the rookie Sundstrom, but he lost his man in the Rangers zone, and Flatley got loose in front of the net.
Flatley with his sixth from Sweeney at 11:26. 2 goals in 1 minute and 3 seconds. At 10:23 and 11:26, and the Islanders suddenly have a 3-1 lead. Samuelsson.
Had an assist to Anderson, Sam, number 32 on the Flatley goal.
So it's Sweeney and Nicholas Anderson with the assists on the goal. Verbeek for Robitaille was deflected out. Samuelsson has the puck. Now Lidster.
Rangers changing lines a little bit here. Verbeek on the right side with Ferraro and Robitaille. Coley Campbell's got to start pushing buttons now for the Rangers to get something going.
Robitaille to Ferraro. Robitaille got knocked down by Schneider. Puck comes out of the zone again.
See, that's what I mean. The Islanders are playing the more aggressive game here.
Puck was lifted up into the crowd, stopping play. We have a break in the action. This break brought to you by Midas. Inside, Mike Milbury is saying, hey, things are going pretty good.
You know, his team, the hitters are hitting, the goal scorers are scoring, the defensive play is pretty good. This was a recent shift for Verbeek and Schneider, Verbeek and Flatley, but there's not much room for the Rangers. There's Robitaille getting flattened from behind into the boards by Schneider, who's been aggressive. Kasparaitis has played smart too, Sam. He hasn't done anything foolish at all.
Kovalov on the line now with Graves and Messier. Kukuboom and Leach. Islanders a 3-1 lead. 7:25 to go in the second. Messier into the corner. Kovalov. Kasparaitis on him. Centered. Nobody there. Pilon for the puck. Kukuboom chases down. Marty McInnes forechecking on him. Great discipline. Very heady game being played by the Islanders. Puck all the way down. Kovalov gets there to negate it. That's a great play by Kovalov. Moves out off his skate with a pass. Kasparaitis drives it up the boards and out of the zone.
Once again, it showed you the strength of Kovalov. He and Kasparaitis, it was a tie at the puck, but it was the strength of Kovalov that allowed him to get the puck and try and make a play.
Leach, cross, Graves. Kovalov back to Graves. Toward the net from wide. Van Plant. On goal, long rebound. Messier back to get it. Sundstrom on the right side comes in. LePerriere on with him. Puck cleared out by the Islanders. Have done a good job.
With the Rangers down 3-1, Wayne Presley, who's a defensive forward, sits. LePerriere gets moved up to the wing with Nemchinov for offense.
Backhander by Nordstrom, high. LePerriere to the boards to get the puck. Now Nemchinov. LePerriere in the corner against Seamack. Seamack swings it around. Nordstrom there to stop it. LePerriere comes out in front. Can he get a shot off? He's tied up. Good play by Alexander Seamack. Nemchinov checked by LaChance. Good hit by LaChance. LePerriere behind the net. He's picked up by Luongo. Nemchinov. Now Sundstrom. Good poke check by Soderstrom.
He used his goal stack very well tonight near the goal net.
All the way out to Nordstrom. Toward the net. Soderstrom got a stick on it. Sundstrom's got the puck. Sundstrom gets some room. Couldn't get out in front. The pass for Nemchinov was broken up and cleared by LaChance.
Yeah, good pressure by the Rangers in their third line, but the Islanders didn't crack. They didn't take a penalty. They didn't do anything crazy. And when the puck got near the goal net, constantly was Soderstrom using his goal stick. At least 3 times, maybe even 4 during that shift, Soderstrom knocked the puck away from his own net with his own stick.
Played only almost 35 minutes, and the Rangers had 9 shots on goal.
This is a very tough trap that the Islanders are playing. When the Rangers are in their zone and the Islanders have the puck, the Islander defense will pinch. Other than that, they're backing out playing the trap. Look at the goal stick. Bang. 3 or 4 times that shift. Anything near the net, Soderstrom took care of business. He did a good job of it. So Verbeek now on the line here again.
Gets the shot, but it was blocked in the crowd. Verbeek almost took a penalty as he was battling with Delgarno. Wendell Clark, he's made a difference in this game for the Islanders.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's made 2 real good plays on goal.
Here's another one, but he shot it wide. Clark chases it down. Checked by Lidster. Clark battling, using his strength. Delgarno in the corner. Picked up by Ferraro. Clark behind the net. Sweeps it out in front. Healy got a piece of it. Robitaille across to Ferraro. Dumps it into the Islanders' zone. Brian McCabe plays it off the glass. The hit was made on Schneider. Ferraro was taken down. Robitaille with Schneider trying to stop play. Robitaille gets away. On goal, it was stopped by Soderstrom. Delgarno and Robitaille for the puck. Good collision. Here's Ferraro all alone. Shot it wide.
He did everything right, but hit the net. Soderstrom went down. Ferraro went high. All set up by Robitaille.
Dumped in by McCabe. Big chance there. And Ferraro missed the net.
Well, Robitaille won the one-on-one battle along the boards. Ferraro stayed deep, and he just missed the outside of the goalpost.
Crowd comes to life off of that play. Bukaboom sends it in.
Yeah, the checking line had a good shift prior, Sam. Now it's the Messier line that's got to pick it up.
Puck around the boards. Flatley. Into the corner. Leach and Pilon. Leach played it off his stick to the side of the net. It was gloved by Healy. 3:41 to go in the second. Rangers trying to pick it up. They trail 3-1. Ferraro and Robitaille, some good work.
Well, it's a good play here. The MCS can and goal cam. Look at it. Take the body. Now win the puck. Robitaille does it. Now watch the puck. Just wide. Again, it appears as though it flipped up or something just when Ferraro shot it, and it went just to the outside of the goal post. The ice here at the Garden will only come out once more for the rest of the season. That'll be after this game. And that'll be it. Once he's put back in, it'll stay for the season.
Offside Islanders on the play. Rangers starting tonight, playing 5 of their next 6 games on home ice. Go to Florida Saturday night to play the Panthers.
That'll be a tough
one. First time this season, battle for first place in the Eastern Conference. The Panthers 2 points behind the Rangers starting play tonight. Then home Tuesday, that's the makeup game with Washington. Home Wednesday against Boston. Home next Friday against Buffalo. And a week from Monday, the Devils come in.
Oh, boy. We'll have some fun. Oh, boy. Starting Saturday. Well, Billy Lindsay will be out 4 or 5 weeks as his own teammate accidentally skated over his hand. Terry Carkner's skate got Bill Lindsay's hand. Bill Lindsay's never missed a game in franchise history for the Panthers. He certainly will be out. He plays a tough game. He'll be missing.
Good role player for them.
Fitzpatrick was sharp at goal last night in New Jersey. Question is, who do they play Saturday, the Beezer or
what do you think,
Fitzpatrick?
Tough call for Doug McClain.
Tough call.
Boy, that place will be rocking. Miami Arena.
They're another disciplined team, too. They play smart. You know, they don't take bad penalties very often.
They played more disciplined than the Devils, who are a disciplined team.
They must be really well coached, the Florida club. Because we have to talk to Doug McClain.
I go down there,
see, say all these nice things, and he'll be listening.
Got it. Now I understand.
You know what? He is a good guy.
He's done a great job.
Sure has. Jovanovski, a leading candidate for Rookie of the Year, too.
You know, everybody looks at the goal scorers, Daze, Alfredson, but Jovanovski's been terrific. Soderstrom stops play by holding on to the bouncer with Graves right there. 3:03 to go in the second. Rangers have had only 12 shots on goal, 8 here in the second period, and the Islanders leading 3-1.
Here the Islanders, they got stuck, not stuck, but they had to use Kasparaitis and Pilon for the Messier line. So as soon as the goaltender froze the puck up, immediately McCabe and Schneider came on the ice for the Messier line. So what happened when they came on? The Rangers changed their line. Now we'll see if the Islanders change their line if they get out of their zone, because the Rangers have their checking line on the ice. Messier just went to the locker room, Sam. And I think it looks probably a skate problem. He changes skates a lot.
Nordstrom in shooting position, knocked down by Soderstrom. Derek King lifted to the Rangers zone.
See the Islanders now? One man's changed. Sweeney got off the ice in favor of Seamac.
Good hit by Derek King on Sundstrom. Driver back for it.
Couple more changes for the Islanders. They got the change they wanted.
Nicholas Anderson almost stole the puck. Now he's got it. Pass tipped by Driver. McCabe keeps it in. Anderson checked by Nordstrom. Sundstrom given away. Dan Plant shot wide. Perrier with a bump along the boards. Plant again. Knocked away by Sundstrom.
See if the Rangers can get out of the zone now. Watch this defensive system and style. Seamac was in deep, now he backs out, now they challenge right here. They're all on one side of the ice now, the Islanders are. Rangers got out pretty well there. The shot, however, goes wide.
Deflected. Chinoff gets it to Perrier. He's checked there by Luongo. Puck out of the zone. Samuelson gave it up with a bad pass. Anderson moves it and shoots, save by Healy. Anderson again. Bounces down to Dan Plant, puts it out in front. The Perrier was back. Robitaille able to get it to Nemchinov. 3-1 Islanders with 1:35 to go in the second. Patrick Flatley will be Al's guest following the second period. Bob Page with an update at the MSG Sports Desk. JD and I will look at highlights, and we hope you'll stay with us. Patrick Flatley, one of the goal scorers. Could have some good things to say following this period. Islanders have played exceptionally well. Ferraro forced back, gave up the puck. Here comes Seamac. Clark to the net. Seamac moves in. Save Healy.
Good play by Doug Lidster, staying with Wendell Clark.
1 minute to go in the second. Here's Ferraro shooting, and it's blocked by Kasparaitis. Samuelson deep, taking the boards by McInnes. Robitaille shoots, saved by Soderstrom. Seamac's got the puck.
Robitaille's had a strong game here, Sam, for the Rangers.
Healy leaves it for Lidster. Out of the zone. Robitaille couldn't control it. Straka to the puck. Verbeek after him. Robitaille finds it. Trying to get it to Verbeek. Kasparaitis goes over. Checks the time left in the period.
And Wendell and Ray.
Yeah.
Clark
they're going at it.
Still going after each other. The linesman there.
Meanwhile, Leach cuts in. Stopped by Kasparaitis. Wendell Clark had a reach into the bench. I think he lost his stick in the Rangers bench. Couldn't try to reach over to find it. Couldn't. Went to the bench on a change. That's the period.
The Islanders have played a very strong 2 periods. Fans a little restless here. And a Rangers streak on the line here. They trail 3-1 after 2 periods. They've only generated 14 shots. That's a hard-working guy. He's played well through 2 periods, Wendell Clark has. Over at the bench, and this is after about 15 or... Ooh! A stick right across the back from Ferraro, who had been thrown down by Wendell Clark. And there you see Ferraro trying to knock Clark off balance. Clark, his stick is in the bench, I think. And he was using the bench to keep his balance. That went on for about 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. And then he looked over the boards to try and get his stick. Couldn't do it. Finally had to go off. But Wendell Clark has had a hand in 2 of the 3 goals. And the Islanders head off, leading the Rangers 3-1.
New York Rangers hockey is brought to you in part by the Discover card. It pays to discover the card that pays you back. By Midas, who asks you to stop in for an undercar inspection. It's the Midas way, the way it should be. And by Snapple Natural Beverages, made from the best stuff on earth.
Well, the New York Islanders 2-2 in their last 4, but they've been unable to win in 6 straight on the road, but you'd never know it from the way they've played in this game. And Pat Flatley contributing to their 3-1 lead here. Again, dumping from behind the net. That's been the way the Islanders have created much of their opportunity, and there's the captain of the Islanders converting it for the Islanders who play in enemy territory tonight. Pat, the way your team plays, when you score a goal that puts your team in front, it plays right into that defensive system.
Yeah, exactly. Tonight we tried to play a little different system because they're so dangerous offensively, and now that we have the lead, we have to be careful not to sit back too much, because if you give these guys too much room to skate, they're really going to stick it up your rear end.
That's a nice way to put it. Islanders, Rangers coming in, the coaches are saying things, you've got the unbeaten streak. It's got to help a team focus a little bit on the mission at hand, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's all, that stuff all adds to the rivalry, but I think that people think the rivalry is lessened, but I don't think that's the case at all on behalf of the Islanders anyway. I mean, it still means a lot on Long Island, this series that we have during the season, and it's always meant a lot to us. I know with the Rangers, with the Devils coming into the picture a little bit, two very good teams in the league right now, that rivalry has stepped up a pace. But as far as some of the Islanders feel, I think it's still a strong rivalry.
Pat, how are you feeling about where you stand in the Islander scheme of things? Obviously, I don't know if you want to call it rebuilding, but they've started getting a lot of young players, and you're like, what, 45 now?
106.
106 in hockey years. How are you feeling about the way you fit into their plans?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really think about the way I've ever fit into plans. My job is, I always looked at it from a very business-like stance, is to come down and I get paid to play hockey every day, and no matter who's in that locker room with me, they're the guys that I have to deal with, and it's the way I've always looked at it. It doesn't matter, young, old, or whatever, but I'm still proud to be a part of the organization, and until the day comes I'm not, I'll still feel the same way.
All right, heading into the third period, you've got some key members of your team out, and that puts a lot of extra ice time on some other players. How about fatigue? Does that enter into your thought as a possible thing that your team's got to keep an eye on?
I don't think so. I think, if anything, I mean, one thing we have on our side is youthful enthusiasm, and that's something that...
Even if you are 106.
Exactly. I bring up the average. But we have a lot of, 4 and 5-year-olds that bring it down, so it averages out, and hopefully that enthusiasm will come to the front here, and the third of this game is very important for us.
All right, Pat, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Pat Flatley, the captain of the New York Islanders, looking pretty good for a guy who's 106. We'll get an update and have some highlights. Stay with us.
Bob Page back with you once more. The NBA's trading deadline of 9 o'clock Eastern Time has just passed. Now, there's been a flurry of activity. Some deals may still be announced later, but for now, here's a brief recap. Buffalo native Christian Laettner traded by Minnesota along with Sean Rooks to Atlanta in exchange for Andrew Lang and Spud Webb. Laettner could play against the Knicks tomorrow night here at the Garden. Golden State has traded former All-Star guard Tim Hardaway and Chris Gatling to Miami. Pat Riley sending Kevin Willis and Bimbo Coles out there in return. The slapstick Sixers sent Sharon Wright to Toronto, and yes, that's a step up for him in exchange for Ed Pinckney, Tony Massenberg, and a conditional :1. Speaking of Philly, back to hockey at the Spectrum. Flyers leading Washington 2-1 now as they play mid-second period. Here's the Caps' lone goal. 17:45 of the first, 5-on-3 power play. Joey Juneau centers the puck, and it bounces in off Shel Samuelson. Earlier, Eric Linderson scored and then set up Eric Desjardins to give Philadelphia an original 2-0 lead in that game. I'll have more right after we pause for these messages. MSG's Mike Crispino has spent the last 2 days at Mets camp in Port St. Lucie. Newcomer Bernard Gilkey should provide some much-needed power for this team. But while the Mets figure to be vastly improved, lack of home run punch may become a problem before too long.
We have Jeff King has hit 20 home runs the past couple years. I really can't. I don't know. Maybe some guys will step up and hit some home runs. Gilkey has hit 18 home runs before, and he might hit 20. You never know. We've got a lot of speed on the team, and that's good to put pressure on the other team, and home runs will come.
My chat with a displeased Dennis Potvin about the Islanders on our half-hour show at 10:30 tonight.
MSG Network celebrates Black History Month presented by Minolta in partnership with Nobody Beats the Wiz.
Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion in the world. Jack Johnson became one of the best-known men of the early 20th century. While he became a champion in 1808, his victory was not officially acknowledged until 1810 because he was black. Chuck Johnson once said, "Whatever you write about me, please just remember that I'm a man, and a good one." Jack Johnson, a legend in his own time.
How does Minolta stay on top?
Do you think that I'd zoom to Bora Bora without my new Explorer? I can keep my little girl at any age with Minolta's Freedom Family Zoom.
I ain't know about being #1, and the max I'm through in the SI keeps Minolta out of trouble.
This Minolta Compact can't zoom to 140 millimeters? I lied.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
By any Minolta camcorder, and you've joined Club Minolta.
Sam, J.D. and Al back in Madison Square Garden. Islanders a 3-1 lead. Take a look at this goal. We saw the Flatley goal before. Look at Wendell Clark's work here.
He makes a nice play, but it's nice to be able to score goals when you don't get knocked down. And there you see 3 Islanders in on the goal. Finally, the puck is shot. Almost goes off the chin of Glenn Healy. And not one of the 3 Islanders was knocked down or even gotten close to. Those are good passes and a good play by the Islanders.
Rangers needed something. They almost got it with this play.
That's what happens when you take the body. That's something the Rangers haven't been really efficient at in this game. Looks like Ferraro is challenged immediately. He's got to go high. He read the play to put the puck just outside the goal post. That was a good play by Luc Robitaille.
All right, John, take us through this play, this rush by the Islanders.
Well, you see the Rangers are actually on the puck here, and we move it ahead a little bit. It's in the Islanders' zone. We'll hold it there, hold it now. You see Ulf Samuelsson moved in, but Ferraro is going to get knocked off the puck here. It's what happens is how he recovers when this happens is how this whole thing is going to shake down. Now you see here, if you stop it for just a second, it looks like almost a 2-man breakaway. But Doug Lidster's going to come back and take care of that man right there. As he does so, Healy's got to think of the man with the puck. Now we stop it there for a second. Lidster did his job. Now it looks like a one-on-one with maybe this type of room. Remember Ferraro? He's got to come back through the middle. Shortest route back to your net possible and force the Islander with the puck to not cut to the middle. There he comes. Now it's Healy on the bad angle. And the Rangers there, who lost the puck, did a good job defensively. The problem is they need offense.
In a hurry as we head for the 3rd period. We'll be right back.
New York Rangers hockey is brought to you in part by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Centers. By Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. By the United States Postal Service. We deliver smart solutions for you. And by Radisson Hotels Worldwide. Over 350 locations in 39 countries.
2nd period scoring summary is brought to you by your Tri-State GMC truck dealers. The strength of experience. Straka with a goal and an assist in the game at 10:23. Minute 3 seconds later, Patrick Flatley with his 6th. 3-1 Islanders. Odd man rushers. Islanders 6, Rangers 2. Rangers have been good on the face-offs. Shots, Islanders 20, Rangers 14. Islanders 0 for 3 on the power play. Rangers only 1 power play chance in the game. Underway in the 3rd.
How about this line?
Graves and Sundstrom.
Yeah, really changing it up for the Rangers. Is Coley Campbell. Messier back to start the 3rd. He left before the period expired. Period 2, that is, due to a equipment problem.
Just a few moments ago, Al Troutwig caught up with assistant coach Dick Todd, asked him about the play in the 3rd.
Coach, this is obviously not going according to the plan and the previous 24 unbeaten games here at Madison Square Garden. So what do you think this team can do to turn it around in the 3rd period?
Well, I think we have to continue to work hard and pressure them, force them into taking some penalties with just a hard work ethic. We've been in this position before and we pulled it out. It's going to take a big effort tonight because the Islanders are really smelling some success here, and they're gaining some confidence from us. So it'll be a very interesting 3rd period, and we ought to get a break or 2 here as well. They got a break on that shot Bukaboom took. It bounced through, and all of a sudden they're down on a 3-on-2 right off a face-off where we had good possession. So breaks are a big thing that can turn the game around as well.
Tommy Soderstrom under control, stopping play.
Thing is, you work for your breaks, too. And the Rangers, I thought, in the last 10 minutes of the 2nd period, worked a lot harder than what we saw earlier in the game. And if they continue, then maybe things do happen. And you can see 5 different times they've come from behind to keep the streak going. Down 2-0, 3-1, 3-0, 3-1, 3-0. Wow.
And now down by 2 as we start the 3rd period. Rangers.
It's been a pattern lately, though, Sam, being down in games more often than not.
Derek King hustles to the puck, Leach back. Puts it in front for Pilon, but a good job of back-checking by Adam Graves. King shoots. Healy the save. He's got it.
The only thing here is Glenn Healy can't, as the Rangers can't afford to give up another goal. Those games you saw with the streak, a number of those, Healy really got tight when his team was down 2-0 or 3-1. Really got tight. And he'll have to here especially in the first half of this third period, if the Rangers are to come back. Certainly the next goal is the absolute key.
And some of those early comebacks against Tampa Bay and Chicago is Richter, who was in goal. Tighten things up. Rangers have lost only 2 games on home ice all season. October the 16th, 7-5 to Hartford. October the 22nd, 4-2 to Ottawa. That's all. Now
Ottawa?
jeopardy here.
Ottawa winning.
7-1 in St. Louis. How was that?
The Moose call was made to the minors again. There was 4 players traveling that day. 2 one way to the minors, 2 one way to the majors.
John Casey and Ken Sutton called up from St. Louis.
Oh, baby.
Islanders play it into the Ranger zone. Healy out to stop it for Samuelson. Right on him, Wendell Clark. Clark, a strong game. Here's Clark for McInnes. He's in, he scores!
There you go, Wendell Clark. You talked about it. I don't know if the Islanders are trying to get Wendell Clark on the ice when Samuelson's out there or what it is, but it seems that that's been a bit of a constant. However, it was forechecking of Wendell Clark, who looks like an all-star in this game. He's the one that moved in. Wendell Clark can play this game, folks, when he's healthy, and there he is working with Samuelson. LaPerriere took the body. Samuelson had released, thinking his team had the puck, and then he went back, and LaPerriere let his man go, and all of a sudden another goal scored from right in front of the goal. Clark on his man, LaPerriere on his man. It's a 2-on-2. Both releases. LaPerriere doesn't pick up anybody, and bang. There's a 2-on-2 that the Rangers lost in the corner, and all of a sudden it's 4-1 Islanders, and they deserve it.
Wendell Clark with his second assist of the game. Here's Kovalov moving in, knocked away by LaChance, but he has had a hand in, figured in 3 of the 4 goals. A strong game by Wendell Clark, and the Islanders now with 3 straight goals lead at 4-1. Kovalov centers, Nemchinov missed, with Dan Plant checking him.
Good back-checking job by Dan Plant. 3 of the 4 Islander goals have been scored right on the top of the goal crease.
Verbeek for Kovalov. Nemchinov, Kovalov, and Verbeek on for the Rangers. McInnes with his 8th of the season, 2nd of the game. Wendell Clark the assist at 118. And the Islanders, with a superb effort here, have a huge lead. Or, John sometimes points out, it could be the dreaded 3-goal lead.
Well, I don't know. They're playing a very focused game here.
Koser, save made by Soderstrom.
And the Islanders just need Soderstrom to play a smart third period and not do anything silly or let in a bad goal. And he's had that problem throughout this season. He's not been worked very hard at all. He's had very few second shots, only 1 odd man rush that I can think of, and the Rangers scored on it. He's been able to see shots, and he's used his goal stick extremely well around the goal net.
There's not one since January the 15th when he beat Tampa Bay 3-2.
Messier, Kypreos, and Koser. So Messier may be getting double shifted the rest of the way.
Bookaboo shot deflect across.
Rangers' best forechecking was early in the first period. And they have had very little of it since.
Pilon takes the puck, wings it around the boards, out to center. Bookaboo is there. Now it's Pilon again.
Mark has won 17 of 20 faceoffs, so that means puck possession goes to the Rangers. However, when they get the puck, they've been going up against a very determined defensive team here.
Icing whistled against the Islanders. We'll bring things back. Meet the Rangers at the play-by-play Monday to benefit Family Dynamics. For information, call 212-255-8494. Great event for a great charity, which Adam Graves is hugely involved with.
Rangers do a great job with their charity work. Each and every player and management is involved all season long. They'll cut that out pretty soon as the playoff stretch will begin, and then they'll become more focused on the sport and also take their free time and really try to get rested and such.
There goes Wendell Clark. Look at him go! Saved by Healy and the big collision. Wendell Clark putting on a burst of speed, getting to the puck, getting a scoring chance. Healy coming up with a save. Wendell Clark draws a penalty on Jeff Bookaboo. Power play Islanders.
Wendell Clark's been the best player on the ice, period. There's the shot that's blocked by Brian Leetch. He was taking it. Straka blocked it. Look at Leetch and look at Clark flying. And you can see how he's tripped up. Glenn Healy appears to be okay after crashing into the goal net. Look at Clark. Definitely tripped up before Bookeboom got the puck. He got the legs, then the puck. And that is a penalty. And the Islanders get to enjoy 2 minutes of power play time here with a 4-1 lead in the third period.
Puck coming all the way down on goal. Healy leaves it for Leach.
It was a good block by Straka on Brian Leach. Give him credit to help lead that Wendell Clark rush.
Leach and Samuelson, Messier and Graves for the Rangers. Schneider, LaChance, Straka, Clark, and McInnes for the power play. 4-1 Islanders, 16:20 to go in the third. LaChance, long shot blocked in front. Samuelson tries to hit Messier on the fly. Schneider intercepted. Martin Straka moves in. Taken down on the play. Samuelson able to move it out of the zone. 50 seconds. Picked off the penalty to Bookeboom. Schneider's long pass intercepted by Lidster. He collided with Seamack. Lidster in deep. Messier finds Kovalov. He scores! Alexei Kovalov with a shorthanded goal. And it cuts the Islander lead to 4-2.
Well, that's only the 5th one of the season. Shorthanded goals by the Rangers, and this was a big one. Islanders had the power play. They led 4-1 at the third period, and there's still 15:51 to go. The pass there by Schneider, out of the zone, yes. Rangers regroup. That's Kovalov on the puck. The Islanders had another chance to play the puck. McCabe there battles. Rangers Messier to Kovalov, and boom. Great shot. Doug Lidster was in deep on the play, and why not when you trail 4-1? Kovalov gets his second goal of the game.
Nice setup. 38 seconds remaining in the penalty to Jeff Bookeboom. Messier getting the assist. 4.5 minutes into the third period. The crowd has come alive.
The Rangers needed a spark or a little bit of something. That should provide it for them. We'll see how they deal with it, but that certainly should be something to get their club going.
Messier and Lidster with the assist.
The fans into it now.
Yep. 4:09 the time of the goal. Healy leaves it. Driver moves it. Lidster clears it out of the zone. Bookeboom back in 5 seconds. Bouncing puck off the stick of Healy. Driver controlling. Team's back at full strength. Islanders 0 for 4 on the power play in the game. Knocked away from Messier. Robitaille holding. Finds Leach. Leach moves in. Try to split the defense. Luongo stopped, and Robitaille is stopped by Soderstrom.
Baby.
Puck is still loose. Here's Leach. Samuelson shoots. Blocked and deflected wide around the boards and out of the zone. Robitaille. Crowd really on its feet now. Robitaille to the net. Pass for Messier was deflected across. He was taken down on the play. Leach. Robitaille saved by Soderstrom. Verbeek shot deflects wide. Robitaille. Now the Rangers playing desperate hockey here. All over the Islanders. Forcing an icing.
Now these people want it. You can see the standing here. Their team trails 4-2. There's 14:05 to go, and they're standing in the Garden.
Fans wanted a spark. The Rangers provided it on the shorthanded goal, and now followed it up with a strong shift where they came very close.
See, Brian Leach gets tripped up. However, the Rangers continue to battle. There's a great save by Soderstrom as he attacked Luc Robitaille in the backhand. Verbeek can't score on the rebound. And it was a Messier, Verbeek, Robitaille unit. Got it going pretty good. You see the Islanders running a little bit here. One of the few times in the game they've done that. Leach, Robitaille, right there. Messier picked up nicely by Straka. Just missed. Pretty good action.
Standing in the Garden as Ferraro is on the face-off with Bob Sweeney. Ferraro with Kovalov and Graves. Kovalov got the shorthanded goal. Leach, long shot wide of the net.
The Rangers, the best part of their game has been winning face-offs. And they've won the majority by a mile here.
In the third period, 7 shots for the Rangers, 4 for the Islanders. Kovalov, Leach to the net. Pass for Leach, steered aside by Soderstrom.
The Rangers keep going like this. They may draw a power play or two if they keep driving to the net. They keep with their speed game, keep pressure going.
Kasparaitis. Healy comes out to stop the puck for Bukaboom. 13:30 to go in the third. Ferraro slowed down by Dan Plant. Puck taken by Nicholas Anderson. Chopped at by Kovalov. Anderson takes it deep. Bukaboom takes it back for the Rangers. Up the middle, Ferraro. Ferraro dumps it into the corner. After Schneider, hit by Graves. Ferraro back behind the net. Seaman, rather, he was stopped there by Kovalov. Centers off the skate of Schneider. Shot by Samuelson. Save! Kovalov! Shot it wide. Deflected over the top. Ferraro takes a hit. Graves for Kovalov. He was tied up.
Penalty to Schneider upcoming, Sam. He got Ferraro up high.
Just what you said, John. The Rangers, hard work. Great couple of shifts. And they have drawn a power play chance. The best sustained action by the Rangers in the entire game. 12:43 to go in the third.
Bob Page with an update from Philly. Mid-second period, Flyers on the power play. Peter Bondra and Jim Carey confused behind the net. Dan Quinn out to John LeClair for the easy goal, number 31, 3-1, very late second period.
Thanks, Bob. Flyers with 69 points. In fourth place in the East, Alexei Kovalov.
Well, he's been going. He's starting to go for the Rangers. Really starting to go. And we now have Schneider in the penalty box as he went up high on Ray Ferraro.
Second power play for the Rangers. Leach and Driver, Verbeek, Messier and Robitaille. Stopped by Kasparaitis. Big collision with Verbeek. They both went down.
This is the passion you wanted to see in this game. The Rangers, it seems as though it took 40 or 45 minutes before they got their passion level up.
Robitaille moves in against Kasparaitis. Messier quickly to Leach. Robitaille, Anderson, McInnes, Kasparaitis, and Pilon for the Islanders. Robitaille, Messier, the pass deflected. Robitaille's got it. Couldn't get a shot off. Pilon lifted his stick. Robitaille for Verbeek, stopped by Anderson. Robitaille bats it down. Now Driver, back to Robitaille. Messier in the corner. Verbeek in the slot. Saved by Soderstrom. Messier takes it back. Robitaille in the corner. Messier picked up by McInnes. Messier looking across to Verbeek. Saved by Soderstrom.
Beauty that was with a blocker.
Now Leach. Robitaille looking. Cutting in his Driver. Feed to Messier was blocked. Messier's got it back. 45 seconds in the power play.
This is where the penalty killers could start to tire.
Leach with Anderson on him. Toward the net. Side of the net for Verbeek. Pass deflected by Kasparaitis. He tried to draw a penalty on Driver. McInnes able to clear all the way down.
Now the penalty killers all changed for the Islanders. The Rangers need to change their power play unit. Kovalov now, who's been hot, gets on the ice.
Leach leads Kovalov. Messier across to Graves. Graves stopped by Luongo. Battles him along the boards. Kovalov out to Leach. Leach. Pass blocked. Kovalov. LeChance got a piece of it. Messier, final seconds of the power play. Graves gets the puck. Driver. Team's back at full strength. Toward the net. Tip saved by Soderstrom. And the whistle stopped play. And the puck to get together.
Yeah, the puck was loose for just a second. Soderstrom covered it up. Made a good save, first of all. Covered it up, and Messier went after the rebound. Messier, not noted as a player that jabs sticks in on goaltenders, and the Islanders reacted strongly. They got through a good penalty kill here. A lot of heat on them, but not many shots. Here's Driver. Good deflection by Graves. Good save. See the puck loose. Messier went after it. Then LeChance went after the puck. Or pardon me, went after Mark Messier. LeChance playing a more aggressive game here. More aggressive than normal. There's a shot. Look at that save with a blocker. Good shot by Verbeek. Messier set up the only two real good chances the Rangers had on the power play, and Soderstrom made it both saves off of Verbeek. Two good saves off Verbeek.
10:37 to go, third period. Rangers out shooting the Islanders 11-4 in the period, 25-24 for the game. But the Islanders with a 4-2 lead. Bob Sweeney in to take the face-off against Ray Ferraro.
Rangers certainly have time, but they've got to continue to put pressure and play with passion when there's the one-on-one battles and not get trapped. That's a lot to ask for when you're down 2 goals. They can't afford to get trapped with the pressure game. Be smart. Islanders, they're trying to play a smart game, and for the first time, they've been pressured a lot.
Lidster with a good job. Here comes Ferraro. And the puck is still loose and cleared aside. Ferraro with a strong move, but he was stopped. Derek King with the puck flatly to his right. Healy out to get it. Up off the glass. Bounces down. Schneider shoots. Knocked down by Samuelson. Lidster moved it. Kovalov. Out for Graves. It's behind him. The line is Ferraro, Graves, and Kovalov. Oh, collision. Lidster and Samuelson collided. They seem to be okay. Graves has the puck. Ferraro. Lidster to the net. And a save by Soderstrom. Lidster again for Graves, and he's sandwiched. And Soderstrom covers up.
They're flying around here. They're absolutely flying. Lidster and Samuelson were the best collisions of the game. They hit each other. And Doug Lidster, when he was a younger player playing in Vancouver, he was good trying to jump into the play offensively. This is what he's doing here. And we also saw in the Stanley Cup Finals a couple of years ago with the Rangers against Vancouver. Lidster had a great chance. He's upset with the fact that he didn't finish. And did he ever have a good chance? Rangers out shooting the Islanders 13-4 here in the third. There's the collision. They both were all right. Both were going for the puck that was up in the air. Oh, man. The puck won that battle. Then the Rangers continued to battle, and Lidster got up, got right into the play, and took off through the middle right here. Went to the forehand side. Good save by Soderstrom as Lidster couldn't get the puck up high.
9:35 to go in the third. Nemchinov with LaPerriere and Sundstrom. Good sweeping check by Soderstrom. Knocked the puck into the corner.
I don't think he used to do that much, Soderstrom, with his goal stick, but he's sure been good this game with it.
Wendell Clark circles back. McInnes with 2 goals. Flatley and Straka the other goals for the Islanders. Kovalov with 2 for the Rangers. LaPerriere out of the corner with a puck. Trying to set up Sundstrom. Straka moves it out. 9:10 to go. Clark and Leach. Leach away with the puck. And heads up ice. Leach with speed. Leach moves in against LaChance, who deflects the shot. Nemchinov. LaPerriere was taken down in front. Leach back pass to Nemchinov. In front, shot hit the outside of the net by LaPerriere. Around the boards and out. This will be an icing on the Islanders. Rangers maintaining the high tempo and big pressure on the Islanders, but still the Islanders lead by 2.
Tick, tick, tick. Time ticking away.
Nervous moments now for Mike Milbury and the Islanders, but they have withstood the onslaught. Tommy Soderstrom has done an excellent job in goal. He's faced 14 shots here in the third period. Stopped 13.
He was well rested going into the third. As he'd only had 14 shots total through 2 periods. Islanders' last shot was on the power play when Bukaboom was in the box. The Islanders had the 1 shot, nothing since.
Messier won the faceoff. Samuelson toward the net but wide. Messier for Beat and Robitaille the line for the Rangers. Lidster and Samuelson on. Lidster is hit by Sweeney. Messier recovers the puck. Robitaille sends it in. Kasparaitis comes back to get it. Lidster stops it. Derek King couldn't clear. Messier's got the puck. Tried to center, it was blocked. Kasparaitis with a hip check on Messier. Messier knocks down Kasparaitis. They rough each other up. That continues. Penalties coming up. Both going off.
Kasparaitis and Messier, the 2 number 11s, and this is a good trade-off for the Islanders. Messier has not had a penalty in 14 games. Ever since the fight with Trent Yawney in late December in Calgary, Messier has not taken a penalty minute. And here now he gets a minor along with Kasparaitis. With 8:09 to go, the Rangers will miss Messier for 2 minutes. They get going behind here. Messier knocked down. He'll give Kasparaitis a shot right there, knocking him down. And Kasparaitis gets up and takes the facial from Messier. Both get 2 minutes. There's the body of Kasparaitis looking at the puck and then moving into Messier. They both get minus. Van Helleman was right in behind the goal net watching at close range the whole thing.
Kasparaitis 2 for slashing, Messier 2 for roughing. At 10:51, making it 11:51.
Mark hasn't taken a penalty minute since the end of December. He went a whole month or more without a penalty.
clean
Smart,
game.
yeah, absolutely.
Now the team skating 4 aside. Kovalov and Sundstrom with Leach and Driver.
4-on-4. Kovalov scored a goal in Pittsburgh 4-on-4, and he gets rewarded as he's played well in this game with some more 4-on-4 action.
Seamak, Anderson. Nice move by Kovalov. He's wrapped up by Seamak. Kovalov has it back. Schneider and McCabe, the defense for the Islanders. Kovalov tied up. Leach pushed it ahead. Sundstrom against McCabe. Leach going in after the puck. He's got it. Kovalov's in front. Leach holding. Matthew Schneider after him. Now it's Sundstrom. Shot toward the net. Tipped wide
by Kovalov.
Leach. Pass blocked by Schneider. Driver's got the puck. Trying to get it to Kovalov. McCabe sends it away. Anderson almost tripped up. Kovalov's got the puck. Moving in. Big shot. Save made, but it was an offside.
46 seconds to go now with the 4-on-4 action. Messier would certainly be out there, but of course he's in the penalty box, so Graves gets on the ice now with Ray Ferraro. The next centerman on the depth chart for the Rangers. 6:55 to go in regulation. Offside, a little hesitation there, just before the blue line. You see the defenseman get out of the way so Soderstrom could see the shot. But if he would have gained the blue line and then wound up, it wouldn't have been offside.
Chance with the puck. Chased by Graves. Lost control as Graves pucked at him. Lidster and Samuelson. Ferraro and Graves. All the Rangers. Graves moves in against Luongo. Chance bumped with Lidster. Lidster went down.
But see both defensemen there, but it's 4-on-4. If the other guys on your team are sharp, here we go now. It's going to be interesting.
Derek King, LaChance to the net. Pass to LaChance. Saved by Healy, and he's got the puck.
There's a good play. LaChance read the play from his own blue line and just drove to the net. And Healy makes a great save, but LaChance had to take the pass off the backhand. The MCS Cannon Gold Cam peek at the play. Derek King, a little flip pass you see there. How LaChance had to take the puck off the backhand, and that means you're not usually as accurate. Look at LaChance, number 7. He's reading the play already. Go to the net. He might have a chance, and sure enough, the King with a nice little pass, and boom. Lidster and Samuelson were both in the Islanders zone on the near side, and nobody really covered up for them. And there's Healy making the key save to keep his team alive. 7 seconds now remaining with the 4-on-4.
Islanders leading in odd man rushes. Leach putting it up the boards. Pass intended for Ferraro. Teams are back in full strength. Matthew Schneider for the Islanders. Kept in by Driver. 4-2 Islanders leading at 6 minutes remaining in the third. Straka's pass was tipped. Ryan McCabe has it. Islanders play again tomorrow night at home against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And
They're playing well.
They're playing well. They won 4 in a row.
Darren Puppa back and healthy. They had 47 shots, including the shots in overtime and winning in Toronto last night.
Messier bumped by Luongo. Bob Sweeney has the puck. And Tampa Bay is now in 7th in the Eastern Conference. In the playoff battle, New Jersey 8th, Hartford and Boston tied for 9th. Robitaille plays it deep. Driver takes the puck. Wards off the check to Luongo. Good play by LaChance to clear it from in front all the way down. This will be an icing. Leach comes back, makes the touch. Clock says 5:10 remaining in the third.
Everything calmed down here just a little bit as far as the Islanders go. As the Rangers continue to press, but they're not pressing nearly as deep in the Islanders zone. Most of the plays now seem to be evaporating for the Rangers somewhere near the blue line of the Islanders. Before it was get the puck deep and really work it deep and make something happen.
Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser. I think Coley Campbell's riding down there, John. That shot we just had of the bench.
we weren't ready or respectful for the first 45 minutes of this game. No, I don't know what he's writing down, but that's the story here. The Islanders were the better team through 2 periods, and the Rangers have been by far the better team in the third.
Just notes for himself for after the game?
Yeah, you file them. They play the Islanders again in the end of March 31st. You go back to your file, and you know what exactly happened. Tough to remember when you have 26 teams, and like the old days.
Giveaway. Sweeney's got the puck. Moving. Centering pass blocked by Lidster. Lidster taking the puck back. Able to clear the zone. Time running short on the Rangers. 4:40 to go in the third. Islanders leading 4-2. Outlet to Sundstrom. Drives it toward the net. Soderstrom knocks it down to McCabe.
Ulf Samuelsson to Nicholas Sundstrom. Good pass. Sundstrom on the shoot in fine, but don't give it to the goalie.
Seamack against Driver. On goal. Healy covers up.
You just shoot it in and give it to the goalie. He'll just take it and give it to his defenseman. Put it in the corner. You go in and forecheck and make something happen.
Would you say this was a rookie mistake, Ron?
You don't wonder if the Rangers changing or what. Look at Ulf Samuelsson. Hits Nicholas Sundstrom. There's no change going on. When he shoots it in, he just gives it to the goalie, who knocks it down. He gives it to his defenseman. And then it's an easy get out of the zone type play. You may as well put it in the corner, keep it away from the goalies, and then maybe the defenseman will make a mistake. You get a lucky bounce off the boards or glass, or your winger heading in there can outwork the other team. But if you just give it to the goalie, that just allows the other team to control the puck.
Leach holding. 4:15 remaining in the third. Driver. Cross to Messier. Messier on with Graves and Kovalov. Rich Pilon back to the puck. Lifting it out of the zone. Driver. Will help from Healy. Picked off Derek King. Driver. Nice lead. Kovalov cuts in. Tripped up. Fans wanted a call. Kovalov's on top of the puck. And Van Halen whistles a stoppage in play, but nothing called.
I think this was more Kovalov making a great move as opposed to a trip by the Islanders. Good breakout on the trap by the Rangers with Driver involved and Kovalov. Here you see Driver on the puck. He's moved up ice. He gives the puck now to Kovalov. A good play. Now watch Kovalov's move. It looks like he turned so sharp, he seemed to knock himself off balance. I may be wrong here. This should show it really well. Kovalov, sharp. Yeah, he lost his own balance. See that? He never got tripped up at all by Richie Pilon. He did that to himself. And then he fell on the puck to the faceoffs outside the zone. That was a great move, but it took him. He was such a great cut. It took himself right off his own balance, and he ended up falling down. A lot of fans, of course, Ranger fans, thought it was a penalty. It wasn't.
I think when they saw Pilon's stick hit Kovalov on the side,
sometimes you see things you don't even see. You know what I mean? Well, they call it some kind of glasses that are rose kind of has mirage.
No? Looking for rose-colored glasses? Is that what
forests and trees? I don't know. I've heard all these things. I don't know.
Well, not a happy night for the Rangers, that's for sure. Down by 2 with 3:38 remaining.
This has been something. This really has.
Been a great run. The all-time NHL streak, 34 by the Montreal Canadiens, who won the Stanley Cup that year. Long shot by Lidster, who stopped. Rangers have lost only 2 games on home ice this season. And now, 3 minutes, 25 seconds away from it being their third. And if this score holds up, John, it would be to 3 teams all under 500. Robitaille battling McCabe. Verbeek slid off his stick. Samuelsson back to Verbeek. Ferraro behind the net. Verbeek goes in front. Ferraro looking for a man. Everybody moving in for the Rangers. Ferraro looking for an open man. Couldn't find one. The pass blocked. Ferraro wrap around. Stopped by Soderstrom. He got the puck.
You can see the Islanders definitely not going to go after Ferraro behind the goal. They're kind of playing the trap in front of their own net. They're just collapsing right in front of Soderstrom, trying to pick people up. Even though Samuelsson was right in front on top of the goal crease. You'll see when the puck goes behind the net here, Ferraro will get a hold of it. As we roll it here, you'll see in the moment, there's Verbeek. He'll give it to Ferraro. He'll stay there. Now look at the Islanders stay in front. Stay right in front. Now stop it right there. You see picked up, and this man watching Ferraro to see what he's going to do. Still watching him. That's Schneider still watching him. Everybody covered. Look at that. You can't get in towards the top of the crease.
back to the live action. Leach's shot was blocked by Flatley. Leach fights off the check, moves down the slot, pass across. Shot went, hit the side of the net. Kovalov.
That was set up beautifully. That should have been a finished play for Kovalov.
Messier, quick pass. Pass Driver all the way down, and Driver picked off Sweeney. Race for the puck. Leach gets back to it first. 2.5 minutes to go. 4-2 Islanders. Messier with Kovalov. Messier against Kasparaitis. Messier lost control, and it's cleared out by Derek King. Messier back for it. Islanders chain. Pass tipped ahead by Graves. No, they missed it. It's an icing on the Rangers. Messier's pass for Graves was looking for the tip into the Islander zone, but they missed.
No.
Mick Bowness, the last coach to defeat the Rangers here at Madison Square Garden.
Did Ottawa play the trap that night? There he is. Things will look good for the Ottawa Senators at that time of the season. Since then, there's been a many amount of changes. Radek Bonk, maybe the best game he's ever played in this league. That night, Rick since replaced in Ottawa, and now one of the members of the Islanders coaching staff. Good guy.
2 coaches removed now.
Yeah, right. Ottawa makes a lot of changes, or used to anyway. A better team now.
Settling down. They're playing well. They won 7-1 over St. Louis, and they're 2-2 with Dallas in the second period. Samuelson back for the puck. 2 minutes remaining.
When does Coley Campbell pull a goaltender, or does he?
Nicholas Anderson forechecking. Robitaille off the boards. Past Verbeek. The chance takes over. Now Schneider. Tied 1-1 into the first period. Islanders got 2 goals in the second. Got one early here in the third. Had a 4-1 lead before Kovalov scored a shorthanded goal. That was the start of a comeback attempt. Rangers pressed, had some good chances, but the Islanders hung tough. Soderstrom made some strong saves. In front, another save by Soderstrom, and he's got the puck.
That is one terrific save right there as Verbeek gets involved. He was involved, it looked like a C-Mac, and then Lachance moved across and knocked the mask and visor of Verbeek right off. He'll now retrieve his stuff. That's a great save here. Good pitch by O. Samuelson. Verbeek will go to the net. Litzner's helping out. Look at Ferraro. Slap, slap. That's a great save. One of the best in the game by Soderstrom, and he held on to the puck. Verbeek finds the open ice by taking his man out. You can see how quick the pass was made. Litzner's been one of the best offensive players in the third period here for the Rangers. 1:14 to go, and Glenn Healy's on the bench for the Rangers.
Ferraro's come close several times in this game. Once he missed the net. A couple of saves made by Soderstrom.
I think there's a lot more fans staying here than if it was another game. But with a streak on the line, they just don't want to leave in case something happens. And I don't know, the Islanders have played well. Sweeney taking a lot of draws defensively for the Islanders. Travis Green, if he was healthy, probably would be taking the draw, but he's out with the injury, and he's against Messier.
Rangers with 18 shots on goal here in the third period. Sweeney sets things. Messier, Graves, Kovalov, Sundstrom, Robitaille, and Leach. 5 forwards, 1 defenseman. Net is empty. Kovalov battling Sweeney. Messier back to Robitaille. Winds up, quick shot. Knocked down in front. And Sundstrom got the puck. With Graves batting at it.
Kovalov again, Sam, with strength along the boards. Wasn't able to be knocked off the puck. Found a way to keep the play alive. And then Messier fed Robitaille, who double pumped, waiting for some people to get in front. Kovalov's already done his job. Look at this double pump and then a high shot. There's the puck loose. Graves doesn't see it. And then when he does, he puts it right into the goaltender. Soderstrom, who held on again. Here's Kovalov. Now watch the strength. Messier picks off Sweeney. Sweeney hooks Kovalov, but Kovalov kept the play alive nicely. And now the high shot with the man down in front of Robitaille. Man, everybody looking for the puck, but nobody can find it in time.
1:02 remaining. Messier wins another faceoff. Robitaille keeps it in. Less than a minute toward the net. Blocked in front by Pilon. Shot by Leach. Actually a pass for Kovalov. Deflected wide. Kovalov gets it from Messier. Looking. Leach goes in toward the net. Pass. Score! Brian Leach off the feed from Kovalov. 4-3 game.
And the people who stayed, that's the majority of them. You never know here. 46.8 to go. Leach went to the net. It was a laser beam pass, a dead accurate pass. You see Kovalov on the puck, and he waits nicely. Bingo. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
All you're trying to do is get your stick loose. Get your stick down and set the target. You can see Sweeney was on Leach, but the target was there, and Kovalov hit the target. Soderstrom couldn't see it. Now the Rangers have their timeout to use. And I think they've called it. See the action in front, nobody in the goal crease. Soderstrom, I don't think, saw the shot. And Leach scores his 11th goal of the season.
Alexei Kovalov with 2 goals and an assist, and now Coley Campbell talking over the play for the face-off.
That's right. That's exactly what I think they're going to do, Sam, is try to win the draw and maybe have one of the players wide, maybe way over near one of the boards, and just try to get the puck deep and then see what happens. They want to force something, either a face-off or a shot on goal, something. Again, the Rangers have won the face-offs, and it paid off there as they got all their offense off the draws.
Messier gets his 2nd assist of the game. Leach from Kovalov and Messier at 19-13. Leach with a goal and an assist. Kovalov 2 goals and an assist. 6 skaters remain on for the Rangers. Net is still empty. Messier wins another face-off. Leach for Messier, intercepted. Lachance to the empty net. He scores.
Boy, was that something. The Islanders celebrate, so they should. The streak will end, I would think. You know, the Rangers, Messier, man, did he win it clean. Leach tried to hit. He couldn't get the center ice, so he couldn't shoot the puck in. So he tried to make a lateral pass or a diagonal pass, and it was picked off by Lachance, who's over at the bench getting congratulations from his players. Now look at this. See, Messier wins it. Leach can't get to the center ice line. If he hits that pass to Messier, it's almost a breakaway. Messier and Kovalov are there. It would have been a breakaway by 2 with 2 men. Instead, it didn't work. Lachance unassisted.
A gamble, and it does not pay off as Lachance gets his 2nd goal of the season at 19-20. Leach's shot blocked by Van Plant. The Islanders lead 5-3, and the Rangers' unbeaten streak on home ice is 18 seconds away from being history.
Well, the Rangers, in all honesty, played extremely well in the last 15 minutes of this 3rd period. Prior to that, they didn't appear as though they were ready and didn't seem to be at the level they had to be. There's Coley Campbell's reaction to the Lachance goal in the empty net. And he knows at that point it's over. The Islanders, he's saying going in, yes.
And
they haven't had many bright lights. They haven't had many bright signs this season.
Kovalov's high shot gloved by Soderstrom. 9.3 seconds remaining. Milbury can relax now. He's
Sam,
a happy guy.
And so he should.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are in this league. Anybody can beat anybody. You've got to respect your opponents. The Rangers didn't have a good first 2 periods at all.
You're right about that. Islanders had time to prepare for this game. Their last game was Saturday, and they prepared well, John.
Oh, yeah.
They played a disciplined, smart game.
How many power plays the Rangers had? 2. Not many games. You see the Rangers go through a game with 2 power plays. Messier and Soderstrom have had a confrontation, and things seem to settle down right now, and the Islanders celebrate.
Wendell Clark had a terrific game. Tommy Soderstrom, once again, comes through against the Rangers as he's done many times in the past. The Islanders have defeated the Rangers 5-3, and no more talk of the home ice streak. It's over. This is the 3rd home ice loss for the Rangers this season, all by 2 goals.
Saturday night in Miami.
It's for first place.
For first place. And the Rangers, I think, will show that they're a better team early. They weren't here. They didn't seem to respect the Islanders, to be honest. And they were outplayed for 2 periods. When they got it going, they showed why they're the better team.
And that's more important than the streak, John, because right now, Florida's 2 points behind the Rangers with a game in hand. Rangers have played 60. Florida's played 59. Good win for the Islanders, their 2nd win in a row, as they defeat the Rangers 5-3.
3 stars.
Alexei Kovalov, number 3. with 2 goals and an assist.
Number 1 star's got to be Wendell Clark.
Tommy Soderstrom?
Wendell Clark?
I think so.
Oh, Marty McInnes.
Marty McInnes.
My apologies.
He played a strong
I think I'm
game.
wrong. Yeah, he did. He played very well.
Yeah.
But I thought Wendell, in the first 2 periods, he was a star.
He turned it around for the Islanders, who beat the Rangers 5-3. Back with our post-game wrap-up in a moment.
The New York Islanders end the streak, and instead of making history, the streak is history. 5-3, they win for the first time in 5 tries. Our Marriott Marquis player of the game, Wendell Clark, with 2 assists. Boy, was he motoring tonight. The Marriott Marquis is Broadway's biggest hit. And in our studios now, Wendell Clark does join us, and I'm not really big on the whole 3 stars of the game, Wendell, but I find it hard to have watched this game and not think that you were one of the top 3 players in it. You really were skating well and involved in most great offensive things that were happening for the Islanders.
Well, just trying to get my skating legs back. I was out for 8 games, so I'm just trying to get out there, skate hard, and try to create things happening. And both Strax and Marty McInnes tonight played a great game, filling the holes and breaking the open spots, and they got some goals.
It's all about being healthy. I know you've had some back problems, but I'm sitting here with my mouth open a few moments ago as you explained to me that it's the acupuncture that you do on yourself with these needles in your belly, and they go 3 inches in. I mean, this is all pretty frightening stuff.
Well, it's a little more complex than that, but it's something that I've done. I try not to do too much of it myself.
I would think that's a good idea.
I did a lot of it in Toronto with the training staff there, and here our training staff doesn't know the acupuncture points yet, so I basically do mainly massage here in New York, and if I have a chance to get someone, I'm killing some time at home, I'll do it myself to get relaxation.
How does acupuncture in your stomach affect your back?
Well, there's a muscle that goes from your legs that attaches to your back called the psoas. It attaches from your groins and it attaches halfway up your back. So when that one gets tight, it makes your back arc and spasm. It's the same thing as hip flexors. They're along the same lines as hip flexors, and hockey players really have strong hip flexors, if not too tight, because of so much skating we've done our whole life. So if I can keep the front half looser, then the back half doesn't take the stress.
So it's the old knee bone connected to the thigh bone theory. Take us back now, first goal. I know you were involved with Bruce Driver. Marty McInnes takes the shot, and for your team to strike early with the defensive style you play is important.
Yeah, we just wanted to get on him early and just create some traffic, and Marty took the shot, and I just tried to find my way to the front of the net, and it dinged off one of us and found its way in. So we were happy to get the first goal to keep the crowd out of the game, especially early in the game.
Talk to me about the satisfaction of ending the streak. I know you haven't been an Islander for very long, so to get into this rivalry that goes on for 20-plus years is maybe a little bit difficult, but that has to add to the inspiration for your team, right?
Well, I guess it's something when the streak comes down to they're trying to make the streak, and we end up playing the Islanders tonight. So it's fate may have it. We got lucky in the end of the streak, and it's just something where we wanted to come out and work hard. We really didn't put it in our mind that their streak was there. We just wanted to play a solid game. If we can play solid for the whole game, by the end of the game, we know we can be in it one way or the other.
Now we're waiting on word of Todd Bertuzzi, who locked up with Ulf Samuelsson earlier in the game. He does have an injury above his eye. Hopefully his eye's not involved. He's being checked out. Now Ulf Samuelsson obviously has a reputation. Give me your take on what happens here.
Well, I'm watching it now for the first time, and basically Ulf was getting out of the way. His stick was in the air. It's nothing intentional on the play. It's just his stick is in the air now. That's normally a penalty if the stick is in the air because you're supposed to have full control of your stick, but it's not an intentional play. And Bert has a cut just above the eye, and he scratched the retina a little bit of the eyeball. So it's a fluke play that nobody means anything by it, but it's all part of the game, and you don't like to see anybody get hurt, but injuries do happen.
Now, we were watching the game in the studio. You skated to what was almost a breakaway. Jeff Bukaboom takes his stick and takes your legs out from under you. You crash into Glenn Healy, and when the collision was over, you looked at Glenn Healy, and we were wondering here, are you looking to find out if he's okay, or are you looking to find out if he's coming back out?
No, the initial look is I don't know, some goalies, if I was Hextall I flew into, there'd have been a little trouble right off the bat, but Heels is I don't think that temperament has got that temperament, and I barreled into him pretty hard, so I was looking down at him. If he is hurt, I don't want to be laying on top of him if they can get people out there, so it's something where it's something I got knocked down. I had no control where I was sliding, and I was basically trying to get up, protect myself as well, and we collided pretty hard into the net.
Wendell, it's rumor time in the NHL. You know that's going to be any time you have a team that's headed toward the trading deadline that's in the process of putting younger players in positions that have been occupied by veteran players. Where do you stand on your future with the Islanders now? Do you worry about it? Do you think about it? Do you think maybe you should go somewhere else? What?
I don't really worry about it. I signed with the Islanders at the start of this season, and I've been an Islander so far, and I'm happy to be an Islander. So I just go out and play every day, and business will take care of itself. Wherever you end up, you end up. After I've played 9 years in one city, and I've been in 2 cities in 2 years now. So I just quit buying houses and rent from now on. And you just go out and play hard every game. As long as you can come to the rink, work hard, have a lot of fun at the game, and being an older player, make sure young guys always have fun at the game and work hard. Then that's all you can do, no matter where you play.
Thanks a lot for the visit. It's always fun to chat with you.
Thank you.
Wendell Clark, and we learned tonight that a healthy Wendell Clark is a dangerous Wendell Clark. As the Islanders beat the Rangers, here's the collision. Bang! Healy makes the save, and then Wendell Clark wants to make sure it wasn't Ron Hextall checking out the scene. Back in a moment on MSG. Back at Madison Square Garden, we're looking over the Discover Card third period summary. You take a look at the Islanders. They struck first in the third period. Marty McInnis, 1:18 in, gave them a 4-1 lead. Then the Rangers got it going. Fans got into it when Alexei Kovalov scored with just about 16 minutes to go. But Tommy Soderstrom had all the answers for all the unrelenting Ranger pressure, and it wasn't until the final minute that the Rangers were finally able to break through. Then Scott LaChance, off a Rangers face-off win, headed it into the empty net. McInnis played well, 2 goals, 1 assist. Wendell Clark passed off for 2. Tommy Soderstrom made 33 saves, many of them extremely spectacular. Alexei Kovalov heading into playoff form, perhaps. 2 goals and an assist. The Rangers' home unbeaten streak ends in a tie with the 1970-71 team for the Rangers' longest streak. Well, Colin Campbell told us before the game, Sam and JD, he was approaching this like a playoff game. Unfortunately, the players didn't respond that way until the third period.
Oh, thank you, Al. And for the Rangers now, a 2-game losing streak and first place on the line as they head for Florida and the first meeting this season with the Panthers Saturday night.
You know, you look at the Rangers right now, and you got the February blah as they're going. The Rangers are 500 in February. Yeah. They're 4-4-1. And I think what maybe they collectively will start to think about now is that they haven't been that good early in games for the majority of those games. They've had to fight back, and they've done it most nights except for this one here. I think they have to find a way to get over these blahs right away. It's a very important game, and it's the first of the series with Florida this season, so it'll start off as an important game. If you get a win in Florida, you know, it sets up your season series with them as you have more home games coming up after that. However, I think the Rangers have to respect themselves and get themselves ready and be a lot more prominent early in hockey games, because I'll tell you, when they got it going in the third period, they showed you what they can do.
I mean, there isn't too much positive to take out of a loss, but when you're looking at things, maybe this is the wake-up call. You lose a game like this on home ice, now you head for Florida, and you realize, hey, you know, so got to be ready to play from the opening face-off.
Sam, it's a long season. You get yourselves into these ruts at times, and I think it's becoming apparent that what's costing the Rangers some points here in February in the standings is early in games. They've been able to battle back a lot of times to get ties and sometimes wins, but they've got to go to and initiate the game like they used to, and they still have the capability to do, and that's something that's an important part of their game. They've got to get that in their mindset.
Okay, more important, what are you packing for Florida?
We're only there one night.
Well, we got to spend the day
I just
Saturday.
don't want to look like a lobster on the air again.
Okay.
I'm going to stay off the beach, Sam.
I'll bring you some sunscreen. See you from Florida Saturday night for the Rangers. It's on the line. Here are the standings. They played one more game than the Panthers. They lead by only 2 points. The game for first place Saturday night in Miami. We'll see you then. Al's coming back in just a moment.
Well, Tom Sven Meberg had 8 of them to choose from. Which is it for the goal of the game, brought to you by Bud Ice, the official beer sponsor of the NHL.
Drive return. Verbeek. In front, Messier scores! What a brilliant play! Messier with a puck. Leaks down low, moving toward the net. Score! Score! And Verbeek! It's a power play goal! Fans trying to get into it.
Now, that was part of the big Islander win tonight as they end the New York Rangers unbeaten streak at 24. Now, we're going to listen in on Colin Campbell and then get some observations from Rick Carpinello, who covers the Rangers beat. That's coming up in a matter of moments. But Colin Campbell dealing with the Islanders, who finally break through and are able to beat the New York Rangers with some very interesting pregame comments, which I hope you heard. Here's how it went.
It was about to happen one of these nights because we were setting ourselves up lately at home, and we were turning it on, and we were doing something about it. But tonight, too little, too late, and we made some key mistakes, lethargic mistakes down low on our coverage, and they went in the net. Glenn Healy didn't make miraculous saves when he should have on big mistakes. So, and then we rallied in the third period, and you're going to get nights like that, and we made Soderstrom look like an all-star again as usual.
Why have there been so many slow starts recently?
Well, I think one thing, we complained about all the games in December. I know that there was something good about it because it kept us focused, and I know that's the operative word of the 90s, but we were ready and prepared, playing often, and now I think we got a little bit away from our game, and we came out, and Pat Verbeek and Ray Ferraro being off because of their injuries, they haven't been skating till Pat yesterday, Ray 2 days ago, so they're not going to be sharp, and our power play hasn't been sharp, so you know, and I think again simply on the focus and being ready, and we knew what to expect. We knew we were set up perfectly for a loss tonight. As soon as we heard Palffy was out and Green's out, it always happens. They work hard, and they work very hard, and you know, we can talk about our team too, and you have to give credit to the Islanders. They worked very hard tonight. They were disciplined, and they did the right things.
How disappointing is it to lose the streak to the Islanders?
It's not, whether it's the Islanders or whoever over there, when a team comes out and plays as disciplined and as hard as they did, they were focused, they had line matchups, we didn't worry too much about them, and they worked very hard. So you know, it could have been any team tonight, but you know, whether they're our crosstown rivals or whoever they are, they worked hard, and they did the right things to beat us.
Do you think it's a possibility this might just be a blessing in disguise, considering you've got Florida coming up?
Well, we were over in the game. We went to the game yesterday in New Jersey, and Florida worked awful hard. And they're not just a 3-week or a 3-month phenomenon. They worked hard, and they deserve everything they got. And they're a patient team, and they'll throw what the Islanders did at tonight. They'll match you. They'll work hard. They'll use patience. And I think they had 2 or 3 goals and 16 shots, but they were good chances. And they were a patient, hard-working team, and I think we were presented with that a little bit tonight. Now it's 2 losses in a row for us, and we simply hate 3 losses in a row.
You think tonight might have been a case of looking past the Islanders onto Florida?
Not at all. Not at all. We haven't done that this year.
Meanwhile, down the hall, Mike Milbury, the coach of the Islanders, called Ulf Samuelsson a part of the lower body anatomy, and our man on the scene there was Michael Kay, who was confused, thought there was a Yankee game or a Knick game, but his love of hockey has been documented over the years, and that's why he wanted to be on the scene. As for what else Mike Milbury had to say, here's a little taste of that.
Ask you again, but we missed it. Just give us your take on what happened between Bertuzzi and Samuelsson early.
Well, Bertuzzi was going into forecheck, and Samuelsson saw him coming, and he high-sticked him. He got cut above and below the eye in a corneal abrasion, and we've already submitted tape, and we'll see if it merits a suspension. I think he intentionally high-sticked him. It should have been a 5-minute major. Just unfortunately, Andy didn't see it and was unable to make the call that way.
I'm sure it's a satisfying win. How satisfying to break the streak?
It's really satisfying. We've had a lot of tough nights. These guys have worked really hard and don't have much to show for it. And for them, I'm really happy. It was just, you know, just a night to enjoy. And this is a rivalry, and maybe it's not flourishing yet, but we hope that in the next year or two that we get back and we're more competitive and we can make it what it once was.
MSG's Deb Kaufman on the scene now. Gannett's Rick Carpinello is here. He covers the Rangers on an ongoing basis. Milbury's calling for a suspension. His own player, Wendell Clark, a few minutes ago said to us here in our post-game coverage, no intent at all. So what's your take on it?
Well, I don't know if there was intent to injure, but I think a suspension is warranted in this case. Really? Yes, I do. I think it was pretty careless. He got his stick up clearly in the player's face, and I think a suspension is warranted. And there's plenty of precedence for a suspension, even if a penalty isn't called on the play by the referees on the ice. Absolutely, especially when there's an injury, and the precedent this year has been a serious injury. There's usually a suspension. Now, Rick, I don't know about you, but my take on this is
this distraction of the Gretzky with Robitaille and Ferraro, I think that was a pretty deep-seated thing, and I think we're still seeing a little bit of that with this team now. How about you?
I agree with you. I think that was a distraction. I think, though, that before that, this team had started to flatten out, and I think that was inevitable over the course of the season. They'd been going along so well, just sailing along, and I think this is their flat period. And I think the timing is good for it, actually. If it was later in the season, I think there'd be a serious concern.
And again, the Rangers have trouble with the neutral zone trap, no matter who plays it. They're going to face it again on Saturday, and they have shown an inability to crack it.
They won't crack it with the team they have, but they can play a patient game and solve it. They did that a few times this year. They're going to have to put their minds to it. You can't just go out and beat the neutral zone trap just playing carefree hockey, and that's what they did tonight.
Okay, so Colin Campbell, who you told me said fish sticks when the interview started, he's pushed some pretty good buttons so far this season. Earlier on with Pat Verbeek, and he's done well with Luc Robitaille and the team overall. This will be another test for him to see if he can get the team straightened out in the right direction.
Yeah, especially with Florida Saturday, the first time they're going to see Florida, and Florida was very impressive against Devils on Wednesday night, I guess it was. And I think this is going to be a very big test for him.
All right, Rick, thanks again.
Thank you.
Good to see you. It's been a while.
That's right.
All right, that's Rick Carpinello. Some post-game help from Michael Kay. Very interesting. And we'll continue and wrap things up here. Martin Straka, a little floater coming at Glenn Healy. It's in the net.